really important here. So for LGD, getting a Broodmother fairly early would be something I wouldn't dislike too much. Just be careful of how you flex it, because they have sometimes flexed Shiro to that Broodmother when it wasn't the best Brood game, and they didn't get the best last pick offlaner. So they have the capability to flex and pick new heroes, but sometimes it's not always for the better.
Yeah, it feels like it could be a trap, Aurora.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely some games where Shiro is having the heroes that I would say it's called 1.5. So you're the plus one, but you're not really just, you know, farming and then hard carry your team later on. You have to kind of join the fight early or like join the tempo early. But it seems that Shiro is not very comfortable on most of those heroes, but he did
so they have
very well on Monkey King. So I think if they really want to go that route, they should kind of plan it, strategize it, so that he doesn't have to, you know, like think of the game, hey, I think I need more farm to win this game. But then, you know, actually he just needs to join his team to pick a fight and treasure the map. Just like his Marcy too. I feel like he did so well in surviving the lane, and he had such a high net worth at like early gaming phase, but he didn't really use his advantage to threaten the enemy team and kind of like starve them out of the map. So I feel like maybe they should just kind of narrow down what they want to do today, and, you know, like not take a chance against Azure, because I think Azure is the better team in terms of diversity.
Fear, I feel like Fear just likes him because he's a Klinks player.
You know what?
And I think the matchup to watch for this series is going to be how the offlanes go. I think these are two very different offlaners in terms of their role within the team. So New is pardon the pun, a newer player to like this highest level of competitive Dota, and I think PSG has spoken about this. Like they've had some issues with him and their offlane in terms of can they dictate the pace of the game when they're strong? Do they know where to leverage that strength to help other people? And so that's why they've had to pick Nothing to Say, like always a really strong tempo controlling hero, because they feel that they desperately need that out of their mid, because they often don't get it out of their offlane. Even though New has had some performances where he gets farmed and plays very well. But on the opposite side, you have Chalice, and Chalice is probably one of the better like offlane communicators / in-game leaders in the Chinese scene. I think he's a big part, a big sort of underrated part of why the previous edition of LGD that had Somnus, Chalice, and FY on it was so successful. This guy's in-game comms are, if you watch any of the comms that they've released, are extremely good. He basically controls a lot of the flow of the game. He says things in a very upbeat way, so even if something goes terribly wrong, he'll manage to make light of it. You don't think about it, and you just go next. And it's very rare to find people who have both the ability to communicate like that and are still solid players themselves. And so Chalice is a huge part of this equation for them. And the other thing that's interesting about this, we've talked about the Chinese teams are less likely to play for this kind of like early tempo timings. Especially LGD prefers to play for scale. Same with Azure, right? So you've seen in this first phase already, there's the Enigma, which they used to eliminate Betboom yesterday, and the Elder Titan coming out first phase from LGD. So they're already thinking about the late game team fight compositions that will enable them to win the battles later on.
Well, I think this ET first pick we're treading on new territories. I think Zhao here has some 500 IQ plan here. They picked the ET, which means you normally don't want to pick the Medusa against it, because during the sleep you don't get woken up because you don't break the mana shield. So that's kind of a bait. And then maybe Morphling as well as a hero that you don't particularly want to pick into the Elder Titan. So you go for this Enigma Clockwork as a response, but now all of a sudden the Medusa's in the pool. So they picked the Medusa there, which is a good versus the Clockwork, and definitely really good versus the Enigma as well. And Medusa's a top tier carry right now. Going to the second phase, you ban the Morphling out, you ban out the Anti-Mage, and you ban the Darks here. Now you have limited options of what is truly good versus Medusa right now. Strategically speaking here, I think what LGD put together, and this is an inter-regional like matchup, they know each other really well. I think they may have the upper hand already just strategically.
Radiant team pick.
Although they have picked this ET once, right, and they weren't really able to showcase what this hero is about. I think they picked it in the first pick, but then when the entire draft finished up, it doesn't really show this ET has a face. So I hope that they kind of rectify that. And I would say ET is not the best hero for a Medusa lineup, but he can buy the items to kind of adjust, and he's a really great Solar Crest carrier, I think. And with that, you can threaten the Roche very early. And when I look at Azure race heroes, they kind of want to chill a little bit, because the fact that there's this Enigma, and Clockwork kind of needs his hook shot to be able to pick fights, unless they are the ones dictating the tempo, you know, maybe they won all their lanes, and now that this Pango came out, I'm thinking if this Medusa will actually have a good time out, because this Enigma is probably going to be a support or whichever regardless, and I think he's going to deny one creep later on anyway, and as a Medusa, you kind of want to take all the farm that you can get, but it's not that great now, and you're gonna get kited by this Clockwork, you're gonna get annoyed by this Pango with all his spells, the swashbuckle, the roll. It's just, it doesn't seem very comfortable for a Medusa to play against this lineup.
See how fast they can play it here. Rubik looks pretty decent for LGD. Bit of playmaker, a lot of good spells to steal this game. I would be okay with that, but I think the one thing to be said is, yeah, this ET Medusa, it's going to be very slow. These two heroes can't play on the map very quickly, so they need to somehow make some, I was going to say Primal Beast, because you can do the Pulverize through the Rolling Thunder now, right? So that's pretty annoying for the Pango. He does love playing this hero as much as he can, and they just picked a Snapfire instead, so they're just bringing in even more team fight now, some more damage to bring with the Primal. This lineup is going to be hinging a lot on how well Nothing Can Say can play this Primal Beast and what rotations he can make, because the rest of his lineup, all their spells are pretty much just to assist his initiations here at this moment.
We have seen Primal's early games get kind of wrecked by Clockwork, at least against some of the European teams.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit different this game. They still, I guess they thought about it a bit, but they still picked it. Again, they want that strong tempo point for Nothing to Say no matter what, sort of no matter how the lane goes. But I feel like their draft is like, with the carries that they banned as well, they're trying to herd Azure Ray into getting some kind of illusion answer to the Medusa. Well, there's the Shadow Demon, maybe like out of the carry role as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it started banning some of those illusion heroes here in the last phase and save a pick for it. That's good in the lane. I also like the Snapfire pickup. Obviously you have like some way to disengage out of like cogs and such, but also we see this hero sometimes as like an Enigma answer, right? Because if Enigma stands there with like Black Hole, you can put in this range magic damage or even help get someone out of it. So I like the second phase from LGD. It's like very much like they're making up for whatever weaknesses their lineup has that are missing for them at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Like before this, I am thinking this Enigma might be the support, but then as soon as I saw this Primal Beast and Snapfire, there's no way that you leave this Enigma on the support role, because he will need items to be able to play against this Primal Beast. I think he's one of the heroes that is really afraid of the tempo from, let's say, Primal Beast, this kind of hero, because there's not much you can do, right? And your Black Hole is like cooldown really, really long, and you can't stand against a Snapfire like you mentioned, Jack. But on top of that, I really like this Shadow Demon pickup, because he does disengage this Primal Beast really, really well, and he's really good against the Medusa with his disruption, and it kind of just allows this Pango to play far if he wants to. And in a way, I really, really like how the map is going to look like for Azure to drag this game out for this Enigma to be able to scale and play against LGD's lineup, because sometimes you need one hero to kind of just, hey, I'm gonna take the risky farm. I might die, but like that's okay. But you definitely don't want that on the Pango. And right now, Pango is the only one who can do it, and you don't want the Clockwork to kind of die with the Pango. In the meantime, it's really, really good for the SD to just stay behind the Pango, because you can save him, and also if the Pango decides to leave the lane and kind of defend the other area, this SD can then stay in the area and keep on pushing with the poison. So I think it's a really, really strong pickup here for Azure.
Yep. LGD here, I mean, we're talking about new in his hero pool. It's usually not very large, but there's still a Broodmother in the pool. It's looking like a pretty good Broodmother game right now. If he doesn't want to go for the Broodmother, his hero pool is, you know, basically Doom Beast, Timbersaw in the pool, Brood in the pool.
I'm surprised Timbersaw is still in the pool, although I would imagine that Azure might ban that out next to the Beastmaster, which they just removed.
He gets Timber or Brood here, I think.
Yeah, they're probably thinking about, who do we ban? Broodmother or Timbersaw, which is more problematic.
Choose your
Okay, so that's a good game here. And the Naga Siren as an answer is also quite good against it, no?
Yeah, I mean, Naga's a really good hero against the Broodmother in general, especially the laning stage. It can be good versus Medusa to a degree, but I think Medusa just takes over this matchup entirely to a point. I think they have lots of AoE magic damage to deal with the illusions here, so I think LGD saw this coming and they're okay with it. I think both teams are relatively happy with what they have here, but I believe you are on a little bit of a timer if you are Jure, unless Chalice can manage to get to that territory where his black holes can start hitting, and that's always X factor. They don't really have a reliable way to stop black holes this game.
So yeah, we talked about like the sort of illusion answers that they're going for with Medusa. There is some magic damage to deal with it, but I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know if LGD is going to try to play for these early timings, and so I feel like there is going to be time for Azure to kind of keep stalling out at the map and keep their items and Chalice. So I actually like Azure in this game.
Me too. I like the Naga pick a lot, and I really really like the SD pick. I think it's kind of a mistake for LGD to give the Pango away, because Pango is known for being one of the best counters against Medusa. So right now, I just think it's very hard for Medusa to ace in the fight, because there's the sleep from Naga, there's all those illusions, the disruption from SD and making her, you know, like just feel very difficult to dish out damage. There's also Pango, and then like if they have to stop the SD, and what do they have to stop this Enigma's Black Hole, you know, because technically they only have the primal base. Maybe they can rely on this Snapfire to dish out damage in the early parts of the fight, but I don't think it's gonna be that easy for LGD to execute their draft.
We're gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen here in this first game of the series. If my panel's anything to go by, regardless of who takes it, it sounds like there's a lot of fighting about black holes, bit of team fights, and who better to relay the action than Odie Pixel and Fog.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, looking forward to this one here. Azure up against PSG LGD in this game one. Fogged, we are going to see a lot of action. And overall, you were kind of saying to me, you like PSG LGD's lineup this time around a bit more.
I kind of do, honestly. I just am a little worried because of this Naga last pick versus Primal Beast and ET. I think these heroes, and even Snapfire, if they're able to find the Naga in the mid game, actually throughout most stages of the game, it could be problematic. So I'm actually going to be looking at Somnus a lot this game, how much he's going to be able to do. And of course, got to look at FY. He's going to be that answer for the Primal. But picking Naga Siren into Primal, it can be a bit tough sometimes. Yes, they want it for the lane, they want it for that song kind of setup, but playing into Primal Beast all throughout this game, it is going to be scary. If they don't get the protection, they don't get the stop on the trample, you could just erase this Naga all throughout the game. But there's a lot of team fight from both sides. Could be a really exciting one.
There is. And for nothing to say, do you imagine he's kind of got the setup to have a good start? So he is going to be having that early power to make those rotations, try and find Naga Siren early on, and make sure that Load doesn't get the space required?
It's going to be up to the supports of Azure to stop him, right? So if they can make the read, if they can see the rotations coming in, perhaps, because Clockwork and Shadow Demon, they can be pretty good. Like a disruption and stuff to stop the aggression, even once we get level 6, of course. For the Shadow Demon, the Purge is nice versus the Trample, so you don't get that attack speed. But if he comes from tree lines, definitely has some issues that could go out there. But we'll see. It's going to be up to lanes, and I've seen this lane in particular. I think we saw the Primal versus Pango. We saw Noob dominate this one. I mean, the matchup overall inside the laning phase was fairly even, but then from like 8 minutes onwards, Noob actually destroyed the game. He actually made this Pango a complete non-factor, so let's see how Somnus does.
You have to be super careful as the Pango, right? You know, if you use the swashbuckle out of position, then suddenly this big beast is just going to come trampling all over you, coming in with the onslaught. So Somnus is going to have to be cautious, especially when trying to play for the runes. You know, when you look to use that swashbuckle to close the gap, beat them to the rune. You might get the rune, but you may pay with your life.
There's some, there's also, of course, there's some fun things. You know, Fear was mentioning about the black hole cancels. So for LGD, they do have two pretty decent preventative measures versus the black hole, depending on how the setup happens. It's about if they get the spells down first. If Stone Gaze gets casted before a black hole, they drop a splitter on the ground. A little bit tough to always like set these up, but there can be situations where it gets that cancel or just dissuades from Chalice being able to go for these type of plays. We'll have to see it all goes down. I'm going to be looking. I mean, it's Azure. It's FY and Somnus. These two tend to be the ones that I look at for the tempo setting and how much they're able to control the speed of a draft, and they definitely have some potential, but have to watch out for some injuries.
Yeah, I mean, we saw FY the other day. Had quite the game right on his Tiny.
Unbelievable.
Him and Somnus really just perfectly in tune with one another when they were playing this Tiny puck combo this time round. Obviously on the clock, similar here in terms of the ability to initiate.
Oh, and translate. What do we got?
No, a bit of banter, I'm sure. Friendly banter here in the chat here between the PSG LGD and Azure.
I mean, it's old guard versus the new blood. This is probably one of the more exciting matchups you could have in the Chinese region, just having these retired all-stars that are defeating teams left and right, ruining TI chances. And then we're having, of course, PSG LGD rallied here. Seems like we're having...
I think we should be fine. Everyone's in the lobby.
And yeah.
So, it looks like it's just some audio issues, just getting things set up properly with the player comms.
Okay.
And, we should be all good. So, yeah, everybody's in the lobby.
Yep.
Our connections are good. So yeah, just some final tuning here with the audio setup. So the balance is nice and the players are all happy and ready to go. I mean, overall with these two teams, just sort of outside of the draft, with regards to what you've seen from them right now, which team do you feel is kind of in a better place right now? You say, sure, we've got the old guard on Azure, some you know, very, very big names in the scene, but right now, when you look at these two groups of 5 players, who's been more consistent? Who is playing better at this stage, would you feel?
It's honestly tough because Azure, they just have that X factor lately. I don't know. There's something about them that they just kind of power up. We've seen them come back from massive deficits, right? Yesterday, they were down, I believe it was like 14,000 gold or something when they go for these tiny toss back plays and this puck stuff. So Azure probably has the X factor. LGD maybe slightly, very slight kind of consistency because they've been kind of a bit all over the place here too. I don't know. This is going to be a really fun showdown here.
For sure. Yeah, both teams, smiles on their faces. They're looking forward to this one.
Okay.
I don't think either team's gonna be too upset after the end of this draft. You know, there's no sort of hero that's caught them completely by surprise. I don't feel. I mean, obviously the Brood comes through later, but you know, is that something that Azure cared about? Is it? Do you think they kind of expected it to come through from near?
They definitely have some answers. Of course, that's why they got this Naga last pick. The Pango as well can be decent versus it, but you know, some of the supports can definitely suffer. The Shadow Demon in particular in the mid game, it's like if you're just the positioning is just really difficult when you're playing versus a Brood, playing versus heroes that are just sandwiching on top of you, which definitely could be the case from PSG LGD early on. Brood definitely feels like super strong. I think this hero there's so many different builds you can do too, as we've seen, because we saw at least Amar and we saw multiple other players doing like Treads Echo, and we're seeing a lot of other team players just, you know, auras, right? You just play around buffing up and making sure that your super carry becomes that super. Neo, I imagine this game is an aura game since he's playing with a Medusa, but we'll see what route he does go.
Okay.
Looks like we're underway.
We're good to go.
Let's go, baby.
So the audio is all set up and ready. And on with the action here in this game one. Indeed, the unpause has occurred, and we're ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Game one of PSG LGD versus Azure.
Let's see how many kills we get in this early game, because I'm clicking around. Blood grenades are plenty. I believe we have 3 on one side, 2 on the other, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, actually only one blood grenade only on the side of PSG LGD. That's really nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, big shout out to all you guys and girls here in Bali. We should have a great few days of Dota 2 ahead of us. Pleasure for us to have you join us here on site.
I mean, we're truly in for a treat this match. And let's see, I've been continuing to... I actually thought we were going to see more ET this tournament. I think ET and Clockwork were two of the melee support heroes that I thought were going to be very much so on the rise. We've seen a lot more Clockwork. This hero definitely seems to be kind of dominating. Good answer versus ET throughout most stages of the game. Definitely a bit annoying to be able to trade versus Battery Assault. Let's see if he can ensure that he can protect Chalice up here, because that's why they also go for this ET. First overall pick, so they wanted to have it to be able to counteract this Enigma and stuff like that. So why? See how much he's going to be able to protect boy.
Bounty rune. PSG LGD could definitely look to try and jump here, but nothing to say being backed up by Planet and Why You Smile. Chalice, he's not going to want to mess around here. Backs away.
Look at
they do indeed get the 3 of them.
Yeah, FY actually able to get the sneak up.
Yeah, just wraps around, gets up the high ground. Shiro and Why You Smile, they can't stop that. So, bit of a boost here for Azure as the game begins.
It could definitely, I mean, this is probably going to be the lane for me to watch in particular, this Clockwork versus ET, because they're just going to battle each other. And FY, he should win most of these trades, especially when he has these Eidolons built up. I think until pretty much level 3, it's fairly difficult for the ET to try to go for trades unless he has like an absolutely massive spirit from the Eidolons. But playing around Battery Assault is going to be something Why You Smile does try to do.
One of the more difficult hero matchups throughout all stages of the game. For the Elder Titan to play it. See how much FY is able to abuse that.
And I think mid and top are the ones that I'm going to be looking at in particular. Top, I would say there can be that like exchange where the Clockwork can do very, very well to shut down and really hurt Why You Smile. Mid, I feel like I could do pretty deep, although this matchup, seeing it, even though the lane can go okay for this Pango.
Bottom lane. We'll set up with the disruption.
I mean, he's got a blast. Immediately gets away.
Pretty hard with the early setup. So level 2s are hit. You're gonna have to be careful on Tianming's positioning in particular. If he uses the disruption early and he gets sort of lack of abilities to save himself, Planet's gonna be straight and on top of him. Heroes can be punished by that high burst early in that bottom lane.
They'll have to be a little bit cautious around using it. I mean, right now they're just using it, just illusion spam. Naga illusions, Shadow Demon illusions, trying to just guarantee themselves some extra last hits. FY, they'll get a courier.
This mid matchup, you know, will we see nothing to say take a bit of a lead, or is Somnus going to be able to keep on?
I think he might be able to keep on, but I mean, we'll see. It all depends. It's a bit of a skill matchup in a way. You have a little bit of a base damage advantage on annoying laner. Slight edge.
Hello. Get jumped upon here. Bit of harassment. We'll try and bully him whilst Tianming stepped back away.
They've got extra regen. More Pangos on the Shadow Demon.
You feel a bit of the early pressure on Shiro.
Top you see Shiro, he is suffering, of course, with these denies.
Able to get as much a free farm as he would hope for. He's about to hit the level 2 on this next creep, so can continue to be more annoying. Try and close the gap onto Shiro.
It's level 2 Eidolons, they can even start posing a potential kill threat up here. While making sure he gives that extra bit of XP to Chalice. And this has been their bread and butter. This has kind of been one of their best strategies in the laning phase with this Enigma. A little aggressive. Why?
He's able to step up. We'll grab some two of the cogs.
Okay.
Trying to focus down Why You Smile first with the Eidolons. They'll get him. First blood to be found by Azure in the top lane. He's able to back away easily. Yeah, Shiro very, very low on the mana. Only has a few 1 charges to give him 100 mana to rely on. It was the lane where we expected to see Azure able to strike first, and they certainly do.
Yeah, FY just playing it nicely. I think just giving that little bit of extra XP so you get the 3 on the Enigma early. To even potentially going to get the side pull off. Was it pretty play if it's 1 range creep. But a good aggressive move. Catching both. Even Shiro does down there. A little bit more damage.
So far, Azure definitely with the hot start across all 3 lanes. Mid's pretty much dead even. Literally dead even, but the side lanes for sure. Azure after a very good start. Niu's farm. It's going to be a bit of a slow one here at the beginning for the Broodmother. Not having an easy time.
Stack's going to start being made. Planet actually misses the hard camp stack. It's going to start getting contested here. Aggro. This is my area.
He won't be afraid to step up and sort of chase him back. He knows that Lowe's going to be perfectly fine left on his own in the matchup against Neo in the lane. A bit more freedom and movement for Tianming to start moving around the map.
Definitely feels it's going to be a bit of a slower one from LGD. It's going to be more reliant just around nothing to say, making early rotations to secure these side lanes that are starting to really suffer a bit here. He has kind of the dream hero to do that though. Easy for him to make these rotations to the side lanes. They do have those good supports in the side. Are the answers for the Primal Beast if they're set up for it. Clockwork as well as the Shadow Demon can't stop a lot of the aggression that comes out from him. A lot of denies for Chalice already. And similar build that he's going to go. Not the Vessel perhaps this game since he's playing not versus a really hero that he needs to go for it on. Just those auras after having an urn. Why has now hit level 3. He's got his boots in his Windlay, so he can easily get on top of these heroes.
Yeah, sure, and Why You Smile, be very careful with their positioning.
Bottom, more stacks. It's going to be a bit.
There's backup coming in. Nothing to say. He's going to turn up with a rotation, go straight over towards Jiaoming with the onslaught.
He got the 5th stack actually onto Neo, but it just wasn't enough damage there.
Yeah, they needed this rotation. Neo's having a tough start down here, so nothing to say. Heads over, gets the setup for the kill.
We'll probably see him be incredibly active moving around. Somnus, though, he's going to try to take advantage of that. Immediately shoves the mid wave in. He's going to get some power damage off of it. He's actually level 6 already on Somnus.
Nothing to say. Let's try and start things with the pulverize, but Tianming's here to back Somnus up. I set up with the disruption, see if Somnus can get a good angle with the thunder. Onslaught's off in time, nothing to say, does cut it a little bit short though. Somnus is able to get the swashbuckle off, nothing to say, attempts to stand his ground with the trample, but the poison comes in from Tianming. Nothing to say, goes down.
They should get a trade here on the SD.
Jump forward with the cookie, they get themselves on top of Tianming. They will indeed find the SD. At the same time though, up top, Chalice was able to take down Shiro.
Nice moves. I mean, Azure, quick movements around the map. The SD going toward the mid lane gets him a quick kill with the first Rolling Thunder, and they have to pull both supports mid from PSGLD, allowing Chalice to go for this. And okay, he actually is just going to go for the Vessel anyway. Cool. I thought he might just go more of these Aura builds since he's not playing versus something that really suffers versus Vessel so much, but see if that pays off for him. Miro.
And boys hanging around, they can look to go on Shiro again.
Already here.
He just TP'd in onto this one, and indeed with Somnus present as well. This is not looking good for Shiro. As soon as he's back to the lane, he's going to get sent straight back to base.
Chalice and FY. These two.
A dangerous part of the map, this top lane now, of how much Chalice has taken over, and with the fact that Somnus is here now.
Yep, DD Rune is actually applying good amount of pressure here. This tower, it might just drop here. This Medusa's going to have to find some space. It's going to be nothing to say. He's got his work cut out for him in this early game.
Dire's top
Why you smile? He's not even going to be able to steal the Wisdom Rune. FY is back over in time, and
he could even go down here.
I think FY could definitely mess with this Chalice. He's going to TP over. He wants to get involved in this kill.
Easy kill.
It's going to be a dead Elder Titan. Azure starting to rack up the kills. 5-2, 3K lead already at 7 minutes in.
Beautiful early game. Laning phase could not be going better for them. I'm going to say, it really does have his work cut out for him with these rotations. He's going to be able to find himself a stack. He's got the Blade Mail thing.
Dire's middle tower is under
I've seen that one on the Primal Beast before. It's setting up on him again. There's 4 heroes, in fact. They're right.
He's going to be able to get the onslaught away.
Okay.
See if they want to chase beyond the tier 1. Somnus will hold back. Doesn't want to come in with the Rolling Thunder.
I mean, Chalice, they're just kicking up the pace very quickly. It's not even 8 minutes in. Chalice is already in the mid lane looking for this tower.
They just don't really have the means to stop this. I mean, YSMAR will catch FY, luckily for YSMAR there with the stomp down. If FY closes in and was able to step on top of him with the battery, so he might have been in trouble.
Just on the edge.
So he'll live. The tower, it won't. At 8 minutes in, 2 towers already been taken by this pressure of Azure around the fact that Chalice had such a good start, such a good lane. Now Planet.
Might be able to find more Planet.
Thinking about coming in with the Rolling Thunder. Looks like he doesn't need to. FY just on his own really at the front with the Battery Assault. It's enough to set up for another kill. Planet gets taken out. They've got their eyes on this Ancient stack. I mean, can't really take it right. They don't have the damage to do so. At the least, they can just be aware of this and be prepared to come and mess with PSGLGD when PSGLGD eventually try to go after themselves top.
Exactly.
I mean, Chalice has got Black Hole.
Is he just going to go for this by himself?
I mean, the TP's coming in for nothing to say. Chalice has to get out of there, and with a quick TP, he'll get out before nothing to say could do anything about it. Nothing to say, of course, will hold back on his own TP. Doesn't bother going up there anymore.
I mean, phenomenal pressure, though. They force a TP up there at the least, even though he cancels Shiro. He's constantly under threat, and Low is not, right? Low, he's a Nagasar, so yeah, this moment he's just sending his illusions, being able to get this nice farm down bottom.
I think we've seen before as well what Low's able to get done when he gets placed on his Naga.
Very, very true. So far, that Primal's not an issue.
Shiro,
I mean, gets him a... Wait, what?
FY's having a good one. 2-0-4, solo killing the Medusa. You can't ask for more than that here from your support. FY.
He's level 6.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
At Planet, and nothing to say. They don't want to come anywhere near this clockwork. He's terrifying.
And nothing to say is the one who kind of has to fix this early game a little bit. And this clockwork having such a
mid
could give some issues.
Somnus is going to get the setup onto YSMAR. Gets kind of stuck on the high ground as YSMAR gets knocked down onto it. But there's the hook shot from FY. Swings across. Is another kill for Azure. 4K lead now.
FY and Somnus on the stage. This is when they hit their power peak. 4K lead. Low getting set up for absolute success here. Shiro. Very low level here on this Medusa, level 6. This Diffusal, it's going to be finished super early for Somnus.
It's going to be very, very difficult for him to recover. We'll see a little bit of a pause here.
Somnus probably, FY probably feeling unbelievably good this game after this. 3-0-4, I mean 7 of the 8. Devastating start for PSG.
I don't know if you mentioned as well, but nothing to say. He does change.
He changed the build.
He's not going to go for that black.
I was wondering, I was like, that seems crazy versus Clockwork. You need this BKB to be able to go through the Battery Assault at the least.
Sure, without that, you're going to have no chance trampling around in the midst of the fight.
LGD's going to have to slow the pace of the game down here quite a bit here to get Shiro back online. he is going to be constantly under vision. Those early wards, this early aggression that Azure has been able to place, taking out early towers.
Yep.
It's going to make it difficult for Shiro to hide. Low, he's going to be able to hide because he can just send illusions to push out waves and hide his real hero. So it won't be under too much threat of the Primal Beast if he does that. And Azure, they're continuing to look for these moves. FY, he has hookshot. Both supports level 6.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Low's hit the rest of the fourth, then they can look for kills.
Yep. That's what's already done for Chalice.
Yeah, Chalice can farm super aggressively as well, just farming the enemy jungle here 10 minutes in.
I guess the nice thing about the Spirit Vessel this game, I was talking about, it's not like the overall best, but I guess versus Primal Beast.
Shiro, he's been found. They're able to get the angle there from the mid lane over the walk to jungle. Of course, this stage doesn't have any points in the stone gate, so very little ways to protect himself. He will have nothing to say moving over.
He's okay.
It's going to be enough to allow Shiro to back off. There you smile and nothing to say. Coming towards FY, jump over the outside, but FY's going to be able to get the cogs down or push back, nothing to say. He's walking away from this.
No
They'll
way.
try with a stomp, but they can't catch him. FY will live, they'll settle for Tianming instead, or at least try for with the pulverize. And indeed, they do get him. They'll get the Shadow Demon, but FY, he's able to walk out.
The cogs, I mean, just really ruining Primal Beast's attempt there.
I mean, they had to react as they did there with the numbers, make sure that Shiro didn't go down. They couldn't afford to lose this Medusa again. They will save him.
No,
and Shiro's going to be able to farm this juicy ancient stack. Will take him a bit of time. It won't be too easy, actually. Maybe he can't farm.
They might just be able to contest. I think they're going to smoke and look for the fight. Somnus has Rolling Thunder, and I think that's the defusal coming on the courier, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks towards the stack, but quickly backs away. It's not at a point of the game yet where Shiro could take those ancients. It's just too many of them. The stack's too big.
And he can actually go for the support here. They're even smoking, looking for the Broodmother. New.
The opening. And that is there. Is there going to be any help for Neo? I don't think they can, actually, with the way that they had to respond to helping Shiro. He's going to get left on his own. Chalice, he won't mess around. He'll drop the black hole to take down the spider.
Why not? With the pace of this game, them dominating kind of this early game, you can just throw a black hole for a core kill. Vessel acquired. Continue the push here. Kiss is available. Why you smile? Still not quite level 6 for this hold, and they're completely getting flanked on.
And FY nearly getting the connection there with a hook shot.
Find Why you smile. Somnus, fresh defusal.
Diving the tier 2s. Not a lot that they have to fear right now as you're with the strength that they have. Why you smile's gone. Tier 1 tower as well will be taken.
They don't even have to commit forward for him, and here comes the stack. Oh, this would be devastating.
Got to do something about this PSG LGD. I mean,
I don't think they can.
It's hard. Somnus has popped the arcane, so he's going to have that low cooldown on the shield crash and swashbuckle to help clear through this.
Oh, this is
under attack.
This is amazing. The hard camp too. I mean, it's all almost gone.
So much farm.
Kisses are up. Can they get some?
They have to punish this PSG LGD. They've got the kisses coming in on this wall. Somnus, nothing to say. Onslaught's across the challenge. They get the setup to bring down the Enigma, but FY pops the cogs. And they'll get the space for him and Somnus to back off. They lose Chalice. They did the damage. They took the majority, if not all, of that ancient stack.
I cannot believe only one hero dies. The rest of Azure is actually able to disengage. I thought they'd lose at least 2 for that disengage, but not the case. Not even having Song. Confident plays there from them. Arcane Rune is going to be expiring. Damage is done from it. He still has the roll available set up around bottom for this Nusa. Shiro is so fragile versus this defusal at this point in the game.
They've got to try and slow down this game somehow, PSG LGD, but it's not easy. Azure, they have these 4 heroes constantly looking to find something. He's in as the Rolling Thunder. Of course, Stone Gaze on cooldown for Shiro, so he can't protect himself. FY, beautiful angle there. Comes in with a hook shot past Shiro onto Why You Smile, clipping the 2 of them. They're both gone. Azure continue to get the kills.
That was like a triple efficient hook shot. He gets through both of them, stuns him, and he steals the Wisdom Rune even. It spawns as he goes.
I was going to say, Will's still theirs, but FY's here, and he's got something to say about that. He's got him caught in the cogs.
FY.
Because he makes the moves down bottom, he'll be over towards here to punish, nothing to say, but taking the Wisdom.
FY, you absolute monster this game.
Yeah, 4-0-7. They can't deal with this clock. Over in the mid, Neo. He's trying to get Chalice, but Chalice has got 1 charges, and Neo, he's got to run. He's going to go for the TP out. Thomas, has he got the damage? He's not going to be able to find him in time, so Neo will escape.
My goodness, what an early game. 13-4.
Now check this out again on the replay. Look at him on a Shiro. A bit of the setup with the disruption, swashbuckle not the smoothest, but it doesn't matter. Indeed, this angle FY somehow able to get the pass by and catch Why You Smile. So
and the Wisdom.
Gets to both of them.
I can't believe he gets literally the perfect hook shot possible. I mean, I can believe because it's FY. Oh, and he has Blade Mail already. This is huge. Great versus the Snapfire in particular. So now he has, either he can hookshot and kind of stop the kisses, or he can just pop Blade Mail, stand in the kisses, or stand inside a trample and stuff like that. It's gonna reflect quite a bit of damage. cool pickup, a kind of selfish pickup, but well worth it if he's having this type of amazing start here. Full blink dagger now for Somnus. They are cruising. How is BKB looking for nothing to say? He does have it finished. Still some answers. The demonic purge gonna be able to prevent a lot of trample damage.
Chalice is able to find a way to get the black hole off without getting interrupted. Could cause issues for these big melee heroes that want to run in on the front lines.
Not cool. Yeah, Chalice is actually gonna go the old build.
FY.
Shard build, FY.
He's trying to start some action here, just running at the three of them with his blade mount. Neo, and he's going to get clipped potentially by the Rolling Thunder. Yeah, they found him. Now drop the black hole again for this. Well, Somnus will get kind of blocked out by the cogs of FY, but it doesn't matter. They still kill Neo off. As a disruption, offered up in low. He's in with the song. Chalice will still die.
They might be able to set up here for nothing to say.
They're surrounding him.
Thinking about it.
He's going to have cogs and battery cell back up, and indeed with the net, they'll get the setup, but he is going to get bounced to safety.
Nice stomp from Why You Smile. Stops the aggression here for a second. Do they want to keep chasing? Somnus does.
Thinking about it. It's the slow with the defusal. The tier 2 though. FY
Dyer's
not
middle
going to be able to
tower
swing
is
round
under
close enough to catch them as PSG OGD get back to the safety at the high ground.
What? Real tanky. Face of these heroes.
Now they'll hold the tier 2 PSG OGD. Azure won't be able to push for more quite yet.
But not feeling the counter overall, like the Primal Beast pick in order to address this Pangolier. It's actually Somnus who's just having the edge over nothing to say so far this game. 2-0 and 6. Haven't seen him really able to like grab the Rolling Thunder burst him by any means. They're already covering themselves perfectly. Stomp. Won't connect onto the Shadow Demon either. He already has, I think already has an Aether Lens too. These two supports are massive.
They've gone with the greedy items, as you say, building for themselves, but
why not?
It works out when they're ahead.
Yeah, I mean, your core is you don't really need to build any of these full support items so much for the Nagasarn at this point. Low is just going to be able to split the map and be kind of on his own for the most part. So I like that they've actually gone this route for themselves.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat out of the cause, considering Somnus has potential for escape. Low protects himself.
Hero.
He's pretty far out on his own. He's very dead. Medusa gone again.
I mean, FY and Chalice just, I mean,
Radiant's
they seem
top
just
tower
too
is
comfortable
under
with this combo. There was the tiny Enigma last time, now the Clockwork Enigma. It just has destroyed the safe lane of LGD completely. Shiro is unbelievably poor. Playing into a natural counter, of course, versus this Pangolier.
Pangolier having a very good game. Somnus right up there, nearly as farmed as his own Naga Siren, and low with this Orchid, he can start looking for solo plays. Nothing to say. Will the onslaught off in time, but just having to run, very difficult for him to have the impact, and that's sort of in a hero situation. The Primal Beast against the Naga Siren, where as the Primal, you kind of hope to have the edge, but he cannot take that 1v1 now with the items online for low.
FY is actually hunting him right now. Can't quite find. Nothing to say. He has to. I mean, it's a situation there where he's like, he can't use BKB. If he uses BKB and runs away, it just feels absolutely miserable because he's the aggressor on the team. He has to start getting something to be able to get the space for this Medusa, because they're just, the space is just not really there for Shiro. And playing it to Naga Siren, which can be a good answer.
So if we can find Planet.
Shadow Demon.
Now we're going to search the tree line, and actually goes for the blind hook shot, but as it is, Planet is stepped up between the lanes. Should be, well, I say should be okay. He hasn't actually got a TP scroll on him, so he's going to be stuck in quite an awkward spot for a bit of time here, Planet.
I mean, this is kind of how LGD wants to play, though. Full splitting up the map to catch up after this devastating early game. Rocket's even kind of scouting. FY seems to know.
I mean, I think he was convinced that Planet was still down there. They probably saw him around. We cleared the wave, and he obviously doesn't have a TP, so they know that Planet's still stuck on this half of the map.
He's actually sneaking his way out of there. I do not believe he's surviving, and they're actually setting up for Chalice, perhaps bottom kisses.
Yeah, it's just going to come in straight away. I mean, Chalice, he's the kisses. He's actually the onslaught. Oh. The whole nothing to say position, and indeed backup there. Nothing to say he's going to have to consider using the BKB if he wants to live through this, and then he'll pop it on an attempt to get away. And meanwhile, FY did catch Neo.
Oh, he wants to get somebody here to the catch. He can.
Will I manage to force? But the Orchid up low gets the illusions out. And Planet, a cookie, a blast. He's trying to run, but the poison stacking up. Somnus is in with the swashbuckle. They get Planet.
I kiss. They try to go for this play onto him and they can't.
And in the mid FY, he's going to keep it under the tier 2 tower. And Azure, they continue rolling once more. 18-5 lead. Once again, just struggling to slow them down.
Shiro is 1 and 5. All core is just not having any type of game whatsoever. The support's even struggling as much as them too. So you're right. It's almost an Aghanims finished up for Somnus. They don't feel like they need any type of cooldowns. Immediately smoke up,
Dire's
look for a
bottom
fight.
tower
They don't
is
care
under
about Black
attack.
Hole.
Radiant are scanning.
I like the build actually for Chalice. He's gone. It's just him sticking in the back lines and fighting
They're
it.
looking for Shiro. Gonna get under the tier 2. Good job he does. They were very, very close to being able to get that catch on him.
Yeah, it's cool that he's gone. This was.
I mean, they're going to know that he's going to sweep over to go towards these camps instead. Tian Ming is looking for the setup, and he's got it.
They've got it.
Disruptions there. He's had to come in. Somnus is in with the Rolling Thunder. Shiro, is there any way he could save himself? He's going to get the game. FY's on top of him, and FY's... Shiro doesn't stand a chance. Spiders will be enough to take...
Can LGD get any?
Precious now with the chap, FY hook shots back in. Washbuckle crossbow white. Got the shield crash off, so a little bit of damage reduction, but the kisses coming in. Survive. Caught by the net, Low. Up for the 5 planet, forcing New back to safety. Low's going to try to continue to chase.
Okay, LGD finally kind of strike back in this one. They lose their Dusa, but they do get themselves 3 much-needed kills, slowing down Somnus's. They lose Shiro, and he is the one that needs
recovery. Despite these deaths, he's still the most farmed on PSG LGD, which is where you need to see them. It's
true.
It's just still, yeah, quite the difference between what he's got. Planet halfway towards the Aghanims, looking for just any sort of way that he can save some of his
nothing
team.
to say. The hook shot. But he gets the battery.
He's going to be able to interrupt and take the charge out. BKB is still on cooldown for 20 seconds. There's no escape for the Primal. Nothing to say. He's gone. FY catches again.
FY.
FY
What else is there to say?
on the main stage, you know.
6-0-11. I mean, he's been missing the land stage, of course. He is more than halfway. He's almost 3 components on that Aghanims already. This is
wild.
This is an insane performance. Level 13 as well, too. He is keeping it up with the cores almost.
Is under attack.
Power's going tier 2.
The full Aghanims delivered on Somnus after that last fight, too. He didn't have it in the last one. He's got the 15 talents as well, too, so... Gonna be able to shred the Medusa inside of his Rolling Thunder.
Radiant's middle tower.
Shiro, he'll have some type of answer.
FY? He's going to find the angle.
Another one.
He's able to get the setup on it. Why you smile? Is there any way they can get him off for him? He's going to... I mean, he can't really do much at all. Somnus is chasing down Why you smile with a slow. He'll look for the stomp. Somnus will be able to blink back to dodge it.
Oh, nice place. Why he uses the shard to jump himself out.
Somnus tries to chase, but won't clip him with the swashbuckle. So this time round, Why you smile able to survive. Shiro's managed to get his next item done. The butterfly is complete on Medusa.
They're starting to slow things down a little bit here. Yeah, Innocence ends up surviving from that nice little shard play. Didn't actually see that he was the one who got it from the top.
And Lowe's looking for Roshan.
Yeah, it's time to go for it here. LGD definitely can struggle fighting around that pit here with the advantage that Enjoy's got. They are going to smoke. Don't feel like they can make it there in time by any means. That's way too quick.
Grabs it here. Somnus. Low. They'll let it go the way of Low.
Yeah,
Keep the Naga Siren safe.
I think Somnus is feeling pretty damn good anyway. They're going to smoke off of this. They're going to look for these battles. Don't let LGD slow the pace down.
Hunting bounties.
This is also, I mean, he's still also farming. BKB and Kaisan just finished, has an arcane rune. He also now has the level 15 talent, a pretty strong one that he needs as
Now farm while you're smart.
and a freebie.
Easy catch for the clock. FY.
That's nice place. He was breaking this one.
See that item time coming up for Chalice as well. A few more creeps and he'll have his blink dagger. Waves getting pushed in low. Up to the tier 2 bottom, already very, very low down here. So this tower should be gone. Chalice will start to bring in the mid. High chance that they'll be able to take both these tier 2s at the least during this Aegis time.
I mean, LGD's just playing full farming up. Look at Planet. He's actually, I mean, he's also pretty farmed on the Snapfire, keeping up almost with FY. It's more about him getting these creeps, but he's actually 3 components toward his Aghanims as well, too, as a 4-staff, so.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
LGD is starting to get some recovery outlets here, even though it's been Azure Ray all this game applying that pressure. 22-8.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy how Planet is indeed.
He's so
how that he's got the same amount of money as FY. I mean,
attack.
FY's hit more creeps. FY's 6-0-12. And, you know, Planet, he's only 4-2-2.
I mean,
so I guess it's just the fact that the kills the Planet was involved in were worth that much more gold because of how far ahead Azure Ray were at the start. But, yeah, pretty crazy that actually equates to him having the same net worth as FY.
Dire's middle
a bit of a solo play here. E.
Radiant structures are
Enough to
fortified.
save, doesn't look like it. Shiro also getting pressured in mid.
See if they can chase Neo down up top. Chalice, he's going to drop the black hole.
Radiant's
Gets the catch onto Neo. Hook shot across from FY. They're locked down and kill the spider.
He secures the kill. He's like, mine, Chalice. That's his Aghanims. And Somnus playing alone bottom. He has these 2 buddies on the mid lane to be able to pressure as well too. They forced quite a bit from LGD there.
Yeah, I mean, he's just able to get in underneath the tier 3, take the kill, and there's nothing that they can stop him during the rolling thunder.
3 minutes still on the Aegis.
Push coming in.
Siege.
Yeah, low, starting to beat down on the tier 3.
He's got the Dragon Scale too for that consistent siege.
Hope they can slow down this push, nothing to say. Goes forward with the onslaught. And comes in though. As Azure Ray also bringing in the top with Chalice's push from the Eidolons.
On Planet, but first, of course, FY, he's got his finish just a bit ahead of time here. Triple Rockets looking frustrating to play. GD might just start getting constricted into the base here. It's going to be difficult for them to kind of pierce out here now with this Naga. This big, just being able to kind of keep all 3 lanes shoved in. See how Shiro breaks out of it here. See how PSG LGD answers to this.
He's got a lot of money, Shiro. So we'll be able to start making moves towards his next item if he wants to forego having the ability to buy back.
Okay, they're going to smoke to get out. They can catch anything. So I'm going to get 30 on the Aegis.
And they have that Aghanims to bail them out or get them in from Planet if they see the chance for a good play, good setup.
Low. He's got the full butterfly Shiro. Does not have the MKB. Low's just walking at him.
Tammy's going to be able to disrupt himself. And well, nothing to say. We'll still be able to catch him with the onslaught. They've got the kisses and the pulverize to drop a lot of ults for that. Low's coming in from the side. Tries to get on top of Shiro. We'll catch him with the silence. Shiro keeps his cool though. And to pop the stone gaze here. And that caught him. And Neo, no way to protect himself with the greaves already popped. It's a dead spider.
Gotta keep this push going. Still 70 seconds Aegis. Nothing to say. Going to kind of try to clear these illusions here for a second.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Push them back here. 4 versus 4.
I mean, he's just standing there. He's got Butterfly Heart.
Dire's
Medusa can't actually hurt him until that MKB's online for Shiro.
And they'll force out the
bottom
glyph.
tower is under attack.
Gotta make a move soon, otherwise these racks are gonna be going down. Tier 3. Set up with the stomp. Nothing to say, trying to start off the move.
Trying to clear these illusions out, but
Pushing back.
he's just persisting.
Tier 3's gone, they're onto the barracks.
This Aegis, it's extremely effective.
It's getting clipped by the swashbuckles, the disarms. Shiro having to back away the illusions, just pushing PSG LGD away from this defense. Backdoor protection will kick back in momentarily, but they've got another wave coming through, as you're right.
He's been whittling on mid too with the Dragon Scale. I love when I see these Naga Sirens do this.
It's going to be 2 tier 3s at the least. And I've got Neo back up, so PSG LGD, they've got the full lineup back in play for the attempted defense hit.
And Low, he's actually going to pressure. I mean, all 3 lanes still continue to be shoved in. Now Tianming, he's made it back into the fight. Keep creating these illusions as well as this Naga Siren. Pieces are getting whittled down. Aegis will get reclaimed, but an excellent pick there from Azure. The Rockets to just ensure that they stay inside the base. FY.
Dire's top tower is under
Completely
attack.
trapped PSG LGD. MKB's done, Shiro.
Okay.
Finishes up his next item purchase.
He's going to need every little bit to buff him up. They've got the Solar Crest already done on Why You Smile, but it feels like they need absolutely everything. Drums, etc. Medusa needs all the enabling as possible to keep this behind.
Dire's middle barracks is falling.
The rain tracks. One dropping. continues to just poke top low. Dragon Scale is so disgusting on Illusion here. Especially when they can't even kill the Illusions very quickly.
Tough ones to take out with his heart and Butterfly done on low.
Now look at this, he's poking mid with Dragon Scale, poking top tower with Dragon Scale. I think he's even sending the Illusion bottom to poke the melee and range racks as well with it too. That damage, it adds up.
The Aegis may be gone, but I think Azure is going to feel too necessary to back away.
No, they're just completely trapped inside the base.
Yeah, they could just keep pushing. This tier 3 indeed looks to be being taken out. Yes, LGD, somebody's got to start the fight. Somebody's got to go in first here on the defense, otherwise they're just going to slowly lose everything.
They're just getting whittled down. Items are, full items are starting to get delivered for Azure right now in these last few moments too. The Butterfly was just finished for low. He's got a Hex pretty soon. Somnus has a Lincoln's now to protect himself versus the Primal Beast. I would say almost having an Aghanim, but they're making the move on him.
With the Demonic Purge, some of the shield crash.
Trying to hold his BKB, and he will be able to.
Get the Earth Splitter coming out though from Why You Smile. So an ult down. And with that in mind, low, he's just straight back in onto the racks in the mid.
Seems like he just knows they can't focus him.
And they're not even trying, as it seems to push him back. They're just going to let the tracks go. There's nothing to say. We'll TP in. We'll see if they can punish it. They get in on top of the Naga Siren, but he's able to pop the Manta.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage here, low.
And he's got the song off.
He keeps in trouble.
Coming in, so has to continue to keep his distance and dodge these kisses. Good protection with the kisses. Not quite enough. It's a good effort to try and get low. They won't quite find him.
That was close. The ET Spirit damage amp up there for the kisses. If he hits maybe 2 more, it could be a good. Now Shiro, he's too far up. He's gone.
And he's not got the buyback. He's spent up there for the MKB.
He went forward so far without his team.
That might be it here in this game 1. As Azure at the same time, they had the Siege Crit pushing on the bottom, so PSLG, they had to pop the glitch. They've got no glitch to protect themselves, protect these barracks. As they'll get the push back on here, Azure.
The Megas are coming.
No Medusa. Nothing to say. Trying his best. Comes in the onslaught. Will manage to catch and kill the Shadow Demon. Somnus hits them all with a shield crash and the swashbuckle. PSG LGD scrambling back towards the fountain. Somnus blinks in. Takes out another. They'll tap out here. GG is called. Azure will take game 1.
Dang. And with quite a statement too. Pretty flawless execution of he's able to play the same thing with Somnus. I only want to do. He's in his matchup versus the Primal. The rotations, the movements, everything. The lanes, Azure. They get the ball rolling and they don't stop this game.
Yeah, there was no slowing them down. I mean, was this always going to be the nature of the draft that Azure had, that if they got ahead, they would be able to do this, they would be able to snowball? Or did you imagine the PSG LGD would have some
make you think a little longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a little longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. So cliche, I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, hard, baby. Yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, glass empty. How about I get another drink, baby, drink, baby? Okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. So when you got this whole thing, I like the way you look at me. How about we just go with the flow? Now you know I feel it too. But I don't think this could be something that becomes a thing. Maybe just for tonight, then I'll be over you. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, hard, baby. Yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, glass empty. How about I get another drink, baby, drink, baby? Okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. Oh yeah.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Yeah. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. Lions gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were Savannah. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a ride, Savannah. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a ride. Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah.
Begin to ask you to answer that question, I just want to talk about the Venom Tidehunter opening on our screen, because that's a first.
Yeah,
Red team
it
back.
does make a little bit of sense here because Azure, I feel like they're reading LGD pretty well. They leave the Morph in the pool. They leave the Medusa in the pool. They pick Tide into the Bat Rider, which is already a good matchup, and they're predicting the Medusa to come out, and Tide is one of the better heroes in this patch to just not only lane against the Medusa, but later on just stay on top of her with the Anchor Smash. And the Venomancer, I think Bat doesn't really enjoy playing versus Veno that much. Any hero that can just slow him down so he can't just run into the fight and do the Firefly is a bit annoying here. But other than that, it's just kind of a pre-planned strat, I think, here by Azure, where they think this Veno can work out. I'm going to be very curious to see if it's going to be a 5 or if it's going to be a 4. This is just going to be their dual offlane, Venomancer plus a Tide here. Not sure if I like that too much. I did enjoy FY running across the map and getting a lot of kills. Being a Venomancer, your play options are quite limited outside of the laning stage, but if you can dominate the lane like you did in the game number 1 there, I guess that's good enough.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I think the last game we saw that FY he was just fearless, right? He's a level 5 clockwork, but he's like, oh, Medusa's alone here, so I'm just gonna tag along. And he didn't really care if there was anyone else there. He just said, I am not going to let this Medusa farm, and I think he can do the same. He can pull the same thing with this Veno. Not to mention the lane is already pretty straightforward. It's going to be in their
Dire
favor.
team pick.
But yeah, I agree. I kind of I'm used to seeing
Windranger at
FI
your
being the
service.
moving hero. Oh, will this be the FI hero or is this just Somnus hero? Because I think they LGD they banned the Pango knowing what they can with the Pango against Yamusa, so it's a good ban. But this Windranger,
10 seconds
kind of
remaining.
curious whether they will just put it as
LGD.
FI hero or mid. Just thinking about this right now.
Yeah. I mean, Azure, they have the biggest hero pool of any team, and they're continuing to expand on that. Not running to run a similar strategy. That's kind of like the appeal, like Jack talked about a little bit, like maybe we'll just, our Somnus will just pull out an OD or an SF in the mid lane out of nowhere. All their players can't do that. They've got a lot of veterans here.
The three maggots, as they call themselves, Chalice, Somnus, and FY. It's, I think I explained before, but it was basically they were on a stream together. Then they stream all the time. They'll be
10
like
seconds
trash talking
remaining.
each other, and they were playing some mahjong game, waiting for a match to start, and they
5
just basically
seconds remaining.
purposely made like really bad plays or decisions in that game just for like entertainment value, and then that's where the meme was born, where they started calling themselves that. And we're starting to see a metamorphosis from maggots to something far more terrifying as this tournament goes on. The Veno first pick is interesting. Again, as you mentioned with the Bat Rider, you
Dire
don't like
team
these
back.
heroes that just kind of plant random wards around to give them vision. It's hard for you to initiate and get your blink off. And then I guess if they thought it was going to be another Medusa opener, there's some value there. It's really annoying to play against early on. You have this hero that can potentially like steal or take away some of your camps by just planting random wards. I don't know that it's, I do think it's
10
kind of strange
seconds
that it's a
remaining.
first phase. I think there was maybe something else that they're trying to block with
PSG
that. But
LGD's turn to
yeah,
bat.
they have a lot of options again, and I think they can play pretty fast potentially once again on Azure.
I did not watch a lot of China DPC, but the one game that I did catch though was FY playing Windranger against Medusa and rushing the
10
Diffusal Blade.
seconds remaining.
So that looks like a high possibility of what they might do here
5
as well. So that'll
seconds
probably
remaining.
push the Venomancer to pos 5. Storm's going mid for sure, so that takes out the Windranger mid option, which means we're probably getting an FY Windranger, which I prefer to see him on over the Veno. Some playmaking capability or the ability to just scale in general, I think is really good for FY. And Azure, they've got a, maybe not a draft that you'll see every day here, but that's just kind of their flair. They don't like picking the absolute like meta right now, and LGD, I mean, they've got to pick Nothing to Say, his Space Maker. We've already talked about, and they're giving new last pick again. And I feel like if you're Azure, you know what's coming, and you can prepare for it quite easily. So
Dire team
Azure
back.
looking pretty comfortable in this draft, even if their heroes are a little bit different from what we're normally used to seeing.
What is coming though? Because Doom is banned, Timber, Mars also banned on the off lane.
Oh, they left Brood again.
They did leave Brood, but there's no way they want to do that against the.
There's no.
There's no way, surely. Because they
ban all
left
the
Naga in the
disablers.
pool too. It's like, no.
They banned pretty much all the disabled team. I mean, maybe except for like an Underlord or something. But yeah, I also like that Azure have gone for this hero both games against the Medusa that has like a Diffusal mid game. There was the Pango last game, this game the Windranger, and so they don't necessarily have to just have something that hard outscales the Medusa, but something that helps deal with and kill it early mid game, especially if you have a faster pace going. And then they do have options here. I wouldn't be
10
surprised to
seconds
see something. Illusion Hero might have a little bit tougher time this game than last,
5
so
seconds
maybe
remaining.
not a Naga or PL, but there is still, there's a Void, I guess. They can go a different route here,
I mean-
and I think the anti-mage is gone.
New's playing a new hero here as well, which is a little surprising because this isn't one of the heroes that they like to pick up for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Underlord.
I don't know about Faceless Void though, because Underlord is very known to counter this Faceless Void, and Medusa SD, they are not that bad against Faceless Void either, so I think they kind of want, if I were to pick someone that can just stand the lane and farm, right, it would be a Lifestealer, because I don't mind a Lifestealer being the bomb for the Storm Spirit, the TIE Hunter. It's not that bad against LGD's heroes, and in a way it can offer much more than just, like Chrono and then like, oh, I want to farm my damage items. I don't think Azure is going to try and pull that. I think they definitely want to try and take this game faster, because there's no way you want to play late game against SD, Ember, Medusa, and Underlord. It's just really difficult, and Azure's heroes are quite lacking in damage as well, because Storm Spirit he has damage, but his damage equals mana, and without mana, he's just nothing, you know. And this Ranger is already going to be a cost 4, so she's not gonna be able to get that much farm. And I think if there's one support that will be getting farm, it's gonna be the Venom. It's gonna be easier on the Venom because there's no way you want the Venom to follow the Storm Spirit to do ganks and whatnot, right? So it's gonna be the Wind Ranger, and Wind Ranger definitely can't carry this game alone, so they would definitely need like a carry hero that can dish out more damage.
You may now select your heroes.
Sure. I don't like this pick that much because there's the SD, there's the Ember, there's the Barrier. Like they have the Lasso and like all these BKB Pierce saves, and it's not easy to kill people, but maybe his job is just to, you know, like make this Medusa feel very difficult into taking fights because your Omnislash is really, really good against Medusa in a way, but you need to have that damage first. You need to have really, really good laning coming from your entire team, and like with that, you probably can overwhelm this Medusa because I think Medusa is only going to be farming in like one corner of the map, and it's going to be very, very difficult for LGD to scale as well as Azure.
Yeah, and I think this Jug, they have tempo though on Azure. I think if they can win their lanes, go with the Juggernaut, make things happen, and his resolution found out last night that Underlord might not be the best hero right now, so especially in the laning stage. So we'll have to see if New can make it work, but it's definitely a tough lane for him, and we'll see if they can get a snowball running on Azure. If they can, and they can shut down the Deucin again, maybe we could have a repeat.
Yeah, I think they had some choices here, some kind of Ursa Jug that plays a little bit faster, gets to that 3rd or 4th item with a lead in the game before the Medusa comes online. But I think based on last game, I like Azure's chances once again here. I feel like they have their number, and they know them very well, obviously, so I'm expecting to see something similar to this game.
I think Azure does have this problem. If they don't go all together, they might just set themselves up for failure. Because when you look at they have the Underlord, the SD for saving and protecting the Medusa, and they have this Ember to just create chaos in the team fight. You know, it's not that easy for Azure to just go in and expect to come out alive. They are not exactly those tanky heroes. So when they go in, they have to be sure that one goes in and the other one follows up perfectly. So I hope that they are gonna execute that well, and we'll see if this, you know, like will this be a new hero or new hero?
Yeah, we'll find out how that Underlord is going to play itself out. I hope at least that the lanes are going to be a little bit more even so that both teams get to play and execute their game plan. We're finding out how Game 2 is going to happen now, and will PSG LTD be eliminated? Finding out together with Odie Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, GVS. Game 2 ready to go here. Fogged, we're going to see if PSG LGD can put up a little bit better of a fight this time round, and indeed, straight up off the bat, Shiro gets first blood, taking down FY. That's exactly how they want to start this one, especially with how much of a nuisance FY was last game for them.
Yep, he's not a Clockwork this time where he can kind of just run rampant. It's a bit of a different setup. They moved the Wind Ranger pick. Perhaps it could have been being flexed, and then they saw the Shadow Demon. Immediately they have to make it the support position. So let's see what route he's going to go. He did scout the ward down bottom with that death, since the tower hit him when he was playing in that little spot there to see it. So he will know there's a ward down there, but yeah, good kill to start things off. Infinitely better already for Shiro than last.
I see. I mean, and overall, do you feel that this could be an easier game for PSG LGD, or do you once again like what Azure's got overall?
I think both teams are a bit pretty happy with what they've got. I do think Azure have some really nice tempo setting if they can get ahead for Lu. I'm just going to be looking at this top lane. How's this Jug actually going to do? Since looking at the itemization from Underlord, I actually like that he's gone this. It's triple gauntlets, so pretty difficult for you to commit. Go for like a spin kill with the Gale.
A lot of
very tanky, so you can trade back with something like that, Jug. Well, he's gonna have to just go farm the lane. He'll trade with these two. High base damage on the two of them.
Move faster.
They're definitely, I mean, there still is always, it depends how many clicks you get onto them. The Gale, the Blood Grenade as well too. There's gonna be kill threat onto some of these heroes. Who ends up getting that set up first? Planet, both keeping each other low.
Yeah, and what do you sort of make of what we've seen before from these two and their mid heroes? Somnus on the Storm, nothing to say on the Ember. Who's got the most likelihood of popping off this game?
Oh, let's see. How many stuns actually there is there overall in this game? Nothing to say. Is not really playing versus too many of them, but let's see what builds this goes for. Some limited disables in a way, for sure, for this Ember Spirit. Somnus maybe having some more disables he has to play versus, I don't know, dropping low.
be fine as long as they can get through kind of the first few levels and I was able to get a point in the healing ward. Should allow him and Tian to stay strong in the early on. It'll be too easy for Below to step up and get CS without taking a lot of damage in return.
Keep flipping.
Look at that, keep right clicks, flame break and a few punches, it's half of his health.
I mean, yeah, I really like this animation from New. It's just small, but yeah, starting off like this. Look at this base damage advantage. He has like 20 damage over a Juggernaut. Definitely not the easiest thing for low up here. Looking better for LGD for sure if they're able to get off to their game plan.
It's certainly been more solid. And do you feel like Shiro, are there things that are going to cause him to have the same amount of issues as he did last game, or overall should it be simpler for PSG LGD to secure him this sort of safe area of the game? Because last time around, Azure, they were able to catch Shiro a lot of times earlier on.
I feel like it should be a bit simpler. I feel like Azure, they're just master classes of the Enigma pressure that they're able to apply with it. Besides just being aggressive, they deny a ton of farm, so it should be easier for Shiro down here. But I mean, he should be able to get the cut out here. We've seen this Tidehunter versus Deuce a lot throughout this tournament. Yeah, I'd say Shiro it's infinitely happier. He got first blood. He's set up for success because he's going to be given, he's just being fed wand charges down here. That's the thing about Tidehunter. You just give Medusa pretty much all the mana back all the time from using Anchor Smash compared to an Enigma.
Yeah, very unlikely they're ever going to be able to kill Shiro in this lane.
Should be much better
with
for
these two.
And he's actually getting aggressive. Chalice doesn't have the Kraken Shell right now. They've got Blood Grenade, Poison stacking up.
It's a lot of poison.
One more.
Ooh, it's not going to quite reach. So Chalice, he's okay underneath tower. Still a few hundred gold away from, yeah, just 100 actually from getting the Ring of Health. So with these next creeps coming in towards the tower, should be able to grab that. And once that's there, Chalice will be feeling a lot safer in this bottom lane.
Yep. I actually thought maybe in this lane it was going to be a lane where he doesn't go for the gush because he doesn't have like the strongest 4 position behind him just so he can stand down here. But I think almost every game we've seen them grab the gush anyway. I think most times I saw them with the techies, so they just always had this aggression that they could put on here.
Mid. Keep eyes on this as both are getting a bit low.
Is that skill matchup now that we've seen so many times?
I mean, nothing to say. Sort of trying to bait Somnus in because he does have chains available if Somnus steps up too far. Somnus keeping it safe. But yeah, with the CS pretty much dead even between these two mids. Top attempt with the Gale to close in onto Neo. I was going to go in with the Blade Fury, but
tanky.
Not going to be able to kill this Underlord at this point.
And he's got the salve to be able to reset himself. I like salves. Having like 1 or 2 salves in laning phase versus Jug is always really nice to just be able to reset every time the spin comes out. So doing an excellent job and attention being brought to mid.
Quick setup here.
Somnus.
And with the blood grenade thrown down upon him, that boy comes in with a power shot. They've got the Vortex grab onto Why You Smile. They bring him down, but they will lose Somnus' life for this. Further TPs to be coming in. Tian Ring turns up.
Planet.
Gale onto Planet. Blood grenade as well. They should find the bat in return as FY he'll have a power shot if necessary. Shackle shot to set up. Oops, off the mark with that, but he didn't get to hit it. He only needs to hit. He only hits the ones he needs to.
Yeah.
As they still take him down.
Yeah, they strike back. They get themselves 2 kills there. Somnus, an effective trade when there's so many rotations in, but last hits there for nothing to say. Pulling a little bit ahead of versus Somnus here. Gonna hit that 6 a little early on the Ember Spirit versus that Storm. Shiro, absolutely. Gonna look to pressure him a little bit here. It's 19 wand though, and a healing Lotus.
That's gonna give him a lot of mana if he feels threatened, and he has Planet and Why You Smile here to back him up. They get the setup on towards FY. Planet gets in on top of him with the Firefly.
Great destruction.
It's gonna be FY going down as PSG LGD continue to make sure that this Medusa has a hot start in game 2. Top lane, low. And he's gonna try and turn Vanilla with the Blade Fury, but TP out in time is there. Low's starting to do really well up here. You know, 25 and 10. Sure, not able to kill the Underlord, but Underlord not slowing him down and not being able to out CS him. Low's playing good with the right clicks, good with the creep farm.
Yeah, I mean the rotations is what happens when you start moving your supports so much to put pressure onto the mid lane. You start giving this Jug the opportunity to perhaps go for these trades. But yeah, Shiro, it's a completely different game. So I mean, we're gonna be able to see perhaps both teams get timings rather than one team kind of snowball out of control this game, at least from what it looks like right now.
Yeah, and if this Medusa hits good timings, is this one of the games where there's less of sort of a counter as there may have been last time?
Absolutely, there's no panic defusal, right? It's gonna have to come from either the Jug buying some weird kind of items or Wind Ranger. Right now he's got the Battle Fury queued up for farm. I'm gonna say,
see, FY will be able to deny the power in.
Gonna reset. Okay, I was like, I have nothing to say. Really dropping quite low. He's got the Remnant to be able to reset himself.
Huge amounts of focus from both teams around the mid lane at that point. Power Rune in play.
This should be a really fun matchup as we do have like Medusa farming, but as you said, getting that farm as well too. So
has been killed.
A 1K lead for PSG LGD off of these lanes. How the stacks look at Planet. He does have a triple hard cam stack, and I believe they did already farm one stack from the side of FY and Chalice.
Dire's middle
Nothing to say.
tower is under
I'm gonna
attack.
go for White.
Respects the fact that Somnus swings across.
And I wonder if Somnus is going to do the build that we saw now a couple of times, especially from Kiyotaka, where he just goes straight for the Orchid to build the pressure in the game.
You are too slow.
Low fancy his chances, and he's going to get away with it. The walk over to grab the Wisdom Rune himself. He's going for the TP out. And to stop it, Low. Get some free XP.
I love it. Great little move there. Ports are going to be very sad now on the side of PSG LGD. Level 3 Bat, level 3 Shadow Demon. Gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, give Low his level 6 jail habit with the small camp. Unlikely, of course, even with the Omni Slash to be able to threaten Neo on his own. And Neo walking around with his 1300 HP and a full Vanguard.
But he can threaten one of these, like the Bat Rider in particular, especially if he finds the best, like one of those dream neutral items like the Broom Handle or the Courage.
You won't feel a thing.
They continue to try to.
Yeah, he
throws the arm.
Planet's going to be able to throw him over towards the neutral camp. The shackle shots there. Blade Fury chased down with the phase boost. Low's easily got it.
But Why You Smile is here to set up now, Low.
Firestorm down onto Low. He has the ward out. Still has a Fairy Fire and a few one charges to rely on, so Low's going to be fine.
He might be able to turn back in here too.
Shackle shot. FY controls Why You Smile. Why You Smile's turning, trying to get the poison stacks continue to be stacked up on Low, but they come to an end. Another power shot's there. Low comes in with a final right click to take Why You Smile down.
And they're hiding you.
They are. Further backups coming in. Tianming throws down a blood grenade. Blade Fury's back up. And with the three of them, they might just have the chance to take this Underlord down. Shackle shot again from FY.
Low.
He's got to be careful.
He goes down.
He does indeed die. And in fact, Neo will live.
Too tanky.
They couldn't quite do it even with the three of them.
They whiffed the Gale too. I don't think it would have been enough to kill him, but yeah, it doesn't end up connecting there. They stay too long. And in the meanwhile, nothing to say. I believe Solo killed Somnus in the mid lane. Gets himself now a DD rune to run toward top. That's a big Solo guy. She did not see how low he was.
And you like this from FY? We saw him going greedy on his clock. He wants to try and have some sort of answer towards this. Medusa is just going to go for the straight diffusal build.
It's good versus all three cores when you look at it. Like even Ember Spirit, even Underlord can suffer in the mana department. But obviously versus the Medusa, it's the best one. So yeah, I'd like if he does go for it. We saw that they built for themselves on these supports on the side of Azure, so I don't blame him if he wants to go down that route.
That worked last game.
And they don't have anybody else to really build it, especially if the Jug does commit for Battlefield, which I feel like he just has to in this type of game. But yeah, nothing to say. The biggest winner out of everything was Shiro. Shiro got the first blood. He was given a great lane, but nothing to say getting that solo kill. Pushes him up to level 8. Stack's going to be getting worked on here, Planet. We'll be able to finish off that hard camp stack that he was getting ready. He's actually not dead yet.
Has been killed.
Would have been a magic resist on these creeps. FY trying to get a steal here with the power shot. Yet. One. Might be able to get most. I mean, Somnus is also swinging over. He's going to get almost all of the big creeps.
Planet's going to get bullied away from this one as Azure are able to pick up the majority of them, and they pop the smoke. If they can turn it into a bit of action up top, and they know that Neo's pushing up pretty far.
They've got Chalice here.
They get the opening with the Vortex into the Ravage. They're going to catch on, and nothing to say. They catch the Ember.
It was kind of expected, right?
Absolutely everything blown onto him at this point. Almost looked like maybe they didn't need it. They had quite a bit of chain stun, but Chalice doesn't want to let anything happen there. He wants to make sure he gets the kill.
They know that nothing to say is having a pretty good start to this one. They do not allow any chance for that potential kill to slip away.
Who got the kill? It was FY. He's actually only 800 or 900 gold away from this diffusal blade. Gonna have it pretty damn early. Be situations where he even can catch Shiro off guard with it if he gets it so early on.
Still just continuing to try and mess with this area, not allow Planet to have that kind of free stack to farm. True camp.
Yeah, that was pretty nice there.
Dire's bottom tower.
That ward that they placed from earlier to scout the stacks. Just say. And back and forth, Chalice getting this push started now with Meteor Hammer.
Of course, with this focus that shifted over towards the mid lane, it just continues to give Shiro complete farm down here. There's Medusa going untouched, top net worth, and is only going to continue to grow that lead with the way that this game's playing out right now, with the Azure looking elsewhere. Chalice will now swing back towards the bottom, but at this point, with the start Shiro's had, they're going to need to bring a lock down here if they want to actually kill this Medusa.
I think maybe they give you might give the priority of farm to FY now here for the next few minutes. For the next 2 minutes or so, just so he can get that diffusal, because then you actually can threaten Shiro in a way. As weird as that sounds,
for
support
sure, yeah.
Wind Ranger with Focus Fire can do something. They're gonna make the move down bottom. There's smoke, nothing to say. Want to make sure that Shiro can get set up even more for success.
They're going to go straight onto Chalice.
They're bringing the numbers.
Yeah, they're even coming in with the portal to make sure that Chalice is completely outnumbered. Chalice will slowly but surely go down.
Cast upon
For
the
nothing to say. Up there close to the top.
Low is waiting around the portal. He's hoping that someone comes back through it, but not.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Battlefield
attack.
progress going. Not quite there still. More gold.
Pretty good though.
Mid Somnus. Team around with nothing to say, but nothing to say does have Way Smart by his side. 12-minute power in, or go into the hands of Somnus. But
maybe not.
Options there.
Denied.
Easy denied for Way
Is
Smart.
under
No
attack.
shield rune for Somnus.
Radiant's courier has been
Somnus
killed.
has shown the build that he's going to go for, so it won't be the Orchid build. It is just going to be that Witchblade gradual kind of build-up damage build. So different approaches from different players, as we saw. Kiyotaka, I believe he went Orchid all 3 games
He did.
in the last time. Even though I think the last one, he's not even playing versus a Ember Spirit, he's playing versus like a TA. He didn't care, so I'd like to see the different approaches
Dire's
from
middle tower is
players.
under attack.
2K lead here for LGD. Side of Azure, still getting some very good farm on these 3 cores. And the support, as we said, you know, FY, he is a core. Yuzel's done. They can find a big kill to slow down Shiro's progression here.
Yeah. I mean, even if they just get in with like a Ravage, high chance that that stun will be long enough for this Focus Fire and
Radiant's
Diffusal
middle
to shred
tower
through
is under
the
attack.
majority of Shiro's mana.
If they can get him like pre-Stone Gaze, definitely they can get the chain stun. Chalice again, though, showing himself deep. They're setting up for him here, perhaps. Oh, he smiles here with the Demonic Purge.
I mean, the rest of the team are going to smoke up and try and capitalize on the fact that Chalice is creating this sort of attention that's getting drawn towards him. They want to try and bait a fight with the tide.
I thought perhaps we were going to see FY put a couple more points into Wind Run just so that he can just full commit forward with his Focus Fire, but does max out the power shot. I mean, it is very valuable, but him having the Fusel Blade this early does merit for more points in Wind Run early
Radiant structures
if he wants to full commit.
Coming down here with 4 heroes, Shiro would be the big catch.
Setting up vision around for him here.
They know he's in it. Gale's not going to connect though, and Shiro, he just immediately stun gazes and TP's out. He knows that there's no place for him down here.
I mean, nice play, honestly.
Very good at escape. I mean, White Small get left behind, but Shiro, he was very prepared for that.
Yeah, but now they should be aware of that diffusal on FY. They probably were anyway. He had a Blade of Alacrity queued, or he had a Blade of Alacrity in his inventory, but he was kind of running around, so they should know that this itemization's there. Good TP. Tower will drop. Chalice will be able to claim that one.
Radiant's bottom
Nothing to say
tower
with the claim
has
that.
fallen.
Rune in mid. Dead even on the mid laners though. Maelstrom's done for nothing to say, but Somnus is getting his time in Witchblade's finish. You? That Focus Fire, the man is gone, but
gone.
Why?
Okay, Lo has got the Omni Slash. If he feels it's necessary here, Neo's going to go for the TP out. The Ravage, they'll use it to stop it.
Okay, sure, why not? Kills a kill at this point.
Battle Fury done. So now a chance to see this Jug catch up with the farm of the Medusa.
And you can see the Diffusal, not only versus that Medusa, the 2 cores definitely suffer if they do get their mana.
They're going to try and make it some point of Shiro. They know that Shiro Stone Gaze is still on cooldown.
He used the Manta as well too.
He's a little bit low on the mana.
Got Lasso, do they have the damage for him?
They bring him low, but not quite low enough. Somnus is fine.
It's a little awkward though for Azure. They kind of have to back out of here. No Ravage available, no Mana Storm. They're going to get cut off.
Yeah, we'll see coming in through the portal. See what Neo can find. They try and catch them with the pit. Won't quite get Chalice.
Chalice is tanky. Is he tanky enough?
Tempting his best to walk this one off. And will have Focus Fire back up in 10 seconds. Chalice is living pretty long. Lowe's
turned up.
He still has Omni Slash low.
Jackal.
Goblins coming in onto this. They get the connection onto both nothing to say in Shiro. And then they go with the Omni Slash. Lowe commits him forward, gets a good bounce onto the why you smart. Blade Fury's back up. Stone Gaze is there, so Lowe will have to avert his attention away from Shiro for now. FY trying his best to escape up to the high ground. The Snake's going to chase him. FY will fall.
Lowe could be in trouble. Healing Ward's dead.
Somnus is backing onto nothing to say. He's got enough mana to kill him. They'll get the Ember.
Lowe get out. He's got spin. He's got 1. He should be fine.
Can't quite finish him, Lowe. In fact, he's Shiro considering getting back in on this. Shiro, this is Somnus. They're still pretty strong. The Blade Fury's back up. Shiro, he's out of mana. Lowe's in on top of him. Shiro, he gets taken out. Double kill for Somnus.
5 stacks.
Will pop. Chalice is still surviving through this all. Is he even going to go down? He's up.
No way.
He just didn't die. Somnus will. But FY and Chalice, they'll finish Planet. I mean, Chalice, he lived through it all. It's everybody dead on PSG LGD.
What a fight from Azure. How is Chalice? I mean, FY, okay. FY bought back, but still, I want to see how much, I mean, mana burn. Look at the damage distribution, really, from it. Kind of both sides. Everyone just duking it out to the death, but the Fusel blade is actually huge. And Chalice, he just survives during all of it. Every little bit coming into play. Once FY
is under attack.
Able to continue to chase him. Now he's out of remnants, so FY is going to be. He's going to be fine.
I mean, as you're right, a big strike back into this game.
That's usual. Chalice living throughout it all, getting the levels that he did, and pretty much having the goal for this Pike, just 400 gold away. So next time round, it may just be his teammates as well that just don't quite die. A very well calculated fight as well for Low, the way that he was able to get involved at a point where it's that risky stage, right? You've just got the Battle Fury as the jug, but Low's still able to have an impact.
I mean, they danced. Like, that was literally a dance. All there from Azure just to be able to get the increased damage from their cooldowns, and he's got a stack to go back to with this Battle Fury, so he is a bit of a bigger winner there than Shiro by any means in the fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
FY, of course, did have to use the buyback for that one there, but man, just a fuse. I just watched him hitting like all the targets. I think he burned, I don't even know how much mana he actually ended up burning in the start of this fight, because he was hitting it. Of course, he was hitting the supports as well too, in the midst of everything from the distraction.
Definitely, obviously a bit of a greedy build from the support, but it's absolutely working from FY. They needed someone to pick up the diffusal this game, and the speed that he got it, he's having the impact. They'll try and set up on him top.
Got the demonic purge, but they want to full commit onto him here. Planet's going to throw the lasso as well too. That
they want this Wind Ranger gone. They know how much of a nuisance FY is. Thomas will zip forward with the vortex on a Planet, but Tianming by his side. Shiro in on top of the Venomance, and Tianming trying to run further. TP's to be coming in. Tianming's actually going to get away. They don't catch him in the pit. Low's turn.
Ravage.
They can turn this around as the hammer comes crashing down onto Why You Smile. It will lose Somnus. He's 3 dead this time on Azure Ray. Low's got to run with a healing ward. Chalice, this time around, I mean, he's still pretty tanky, but it's the whole team having an effort at taking him out. And Chalice, he won't survive this one.
The Ravage ends up clipping the 3 on the backline, but I think Shiro is just free attacking. I don't think it clipped him on the far right. And Somnus, I think he zipped into a pit. He gets caught out, and they can just heal, reset, and come right back up here for this push on PSG LGD.
Dire's top tower.
Definitely seeing how much of a different fight it is when Azure Ray do not catch the Medusa.
Yep.
Shiro's able to live, he's able to hit. It's just a bit too much for Azure Ray to fight through.
And he's now getting pretty close to his butterfly off of that fight too. Pretty big pickup if he's able to get it.
Mid. Very nice shackle there from FY, catching nothing to say, but nothing to say. We'll be able to. I mean, Somnus knows that nothing to say. Pretty low in the mana. He's got the vortex. They're going to be able to catch him. FY with the power shot.
Oh, he just knew. He tips him. Maybe.
Okay.
You'd be sticking around for that creep cap. Cost him his life.
Punish the greed.
Stupendous!
We get a big kill back into their favor here.
With the blink dagger, already been hit some excellent angles with the shackle shots. Now they've got to be even more prepared for him getting the jump on them.
Now, I mean, now it's just like him easier access to be able to get the angle to just get into the prime target to go for the focus fire too. If Chalice next time is going to be able to get a bit of a better Ravage. Did only catch like the 3 on the back lines this last time. Blink will be the next choice. I think this has been kind of the natural build-up that we've seen for almost all Tidehunters now. They're looking to smoke. I mean, they're still looking like they want to fight even if Ravage is on cooldown. Feeling strong.
Put the Omni Slash up.
Sees the setup down bottom. They want to try to perhaps get nothing to say. They might be able to sneak it onto him here. Why is at the ready?
Focus fire back up in 2 seconds.
And this, Why You Smile's down here. They seem to know this is happening.
Dire's middle
Ward now, it's going to scout Chalice.
Damn it!
Try and pressure this. I mean, 20 seconds and Ravage is there as well for Azure Ray.
Low, it looks like Low is just going to build for himself rather than trying to counter this Medusa. Medusa has the butterfly already done. See if he does look to switch up the build.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very aggressively Low. The lasso at the ready for Planet. He's thinking about going in.
And there's the jump.
This is so deep and low.
Out of this one, he's able to put the Blade Fury, but Shiro blocking him off. As Low.
This is so deep from him. He had to expect that something like that was going to be coming in. Maybe he thought he could just, I don't know, spin TP after a lasso, but there's a Medusa there.
They're doing far too much physical damage.
That was definitely one of the slip-ups I don't think we've seen from Low in the last few games from him at least.
After death. 14. PSG LGD holding the lead, and Shiro definitely stepping into the territory where you start to wonder if kind of FY with his defusal is going to be enough of an answer for this Medusa. The other heroes won't be able to offer up too much in regards to taking down this Medusa at this stage of the game.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. That's gonna, I mean, slowing down low. Anytime you get slowed down, when one of these cores dies compared to the other one, it's just gonna pump up. In particular, this time Shiro, one of these cores just to become that much more massive. And Butterfly was finished, he's already got 2,000 gold. In the meantime, Jug has not been able to farm anything because he did get caught. Somnus to zip himself away, nothing to say, now has his BKB, so he's still keeping up in farm as well. And he's safer too. That's the thing, nothing to say. With this BKB, he shouldn't die. Unless he makes a big mistake here. Somnus, he can still die, even if he slips up at all here. No BKB to cover him. Sure, he's got status resist, but quite a bit of little disables in the brutes.
Pits in the chains.
Yeah, they're annoying.
FY.
Ooh.
F4. Oh. Not careful enough. FY goes down. Another Tormentor casualty here. Major.
Well, I feel like I haven't seen that many of this major, actually.
There's got to have been a couple.
There's definitely been a good amount, but not nearly as much as when it first got added.
At least for FY, he did die to this Tormentor, but he is also the one that gets the shard.
Yeah. Blessed and punished at the same time. Smoke. GLGD, feeling strong. Planet is very farmed this game. As we tend to see, I feel like, for these Bat Riders, Blink and Force Staff was ready as done. See who he's going to be able to grab. I mean, ideally wants to get this Jug or the Storm in most situations. Has to watch out for the counter initiation now at this point, though. Chalice does have his Blink Dagger done.
They're waiting for him here on the high ground, low. He walks into this, he'll be able to get the Omni Slash off. Is he able to walk away for Shiro? You get the Blade Fury and the Healing Ward out.
It's okay.
It's enough to back away from this one.
Okay.
They're going to try and chase it. Nothing to say him with a slight change. The shot thrown out, but the BKB is already there for nothing to say, so he can continue to push forward and take down low.
Ooh, 2 back-to-back kills on the pretty much the most important hero they can get at this point in the game. Huge stuff. Back-to-back lassos. Chalice wants to strike back with that fly. New. Out of mana.
Fire. The mana's burn, but getting through his HP is going to be a lot tougher.
Blocking so much damage with this Crimson.
Somnus, he's playing around with nothing to say. Nothing to say, getting very low here. He's going to try and throw out a remnant. Somnus, he's going to be able to chase this with the full lightning.
Can he get him?
By the chains. Jump off from FY. Nothing to say, he's gone. FY takes him down.
No BKB on that Ember. They commit forward for him. Neo, he'll tank through all the damage, but a good jump. Somnus. Good recognition there. That Ember not having the BKB because he committed it for the Jug. Right back. Medusa, though, Shiro, he is getting to some pretty dangerous territories.
The MKB complete.
Yeah. How's this Jug's itemization? I know he's been switching it a couple times here. He had Butterfly Q, now he's got Scotty Q. Maybe feel like he's still switch it to the MKB if he feels necessary. Somnus, he'll be able to claim himself a nice one. He gets some Arcane Rune up top. Yeah, Shiro, massive. And it also is with the backup of a Shadow Demon, so multiple different illusions that are going to be set up. But the 3 cores on Azure, they're keeping it close with the other cores. It's just Shiro who's that real big difference. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what low does look to itemize if he does switch it up. Looks like the supports on the side of Azure, they're going greedy, but they are building now a little bit more for the team. I think a first Lincoln's is done, so looking to get some coverage versus these single target disables. In particular, it's mostly just that lasso, of course. Pretty farm Benno. I mean, he's just been quietly just hitting creeps.
Yeah.
Well, very, very close game.
You want to make active moves now with Shiro, that he's got this MKB done on top of the butterfly.
Just play around this Medusa.
Chain set up. He's in a lot of trouble there. I mean, they're bringing in the Underlord as well. Chalice, he can't run from this. He's out for 50 now. They've turned towards jamming as well. He's tried to help out. He'll also get taken out.
This is the timing for PSG LGD. They're going to force as much as they can here around this Dusa.
They're super strong at this timing, and not a lot of answers at all from Azure for Shiro Medusa at this stage. 18k net worth.
They need to split them up until they have an itemization to kind of deal with it here. Somnus far from BKB, low. As we said, we'll see which item he does actually full commit for here versus this Dusa.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Big whittling this tower down. Whittling, I say. Killing it pretty quickly, Shiro.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Medusa is massive.
Now, where do you think you can go next with that? It's okay, it's just going to
go Scotty. I don't think you need to go too crazy. Just tank up a little bit more. It gives you kind of everything that you want at this point in the game. You're already dishing out the damage, so just a little more survivability. He's just being set up for success. Look at these stacks. And looking at the Shadow Demon, always have to factor this hero in, of course, too, because he is getting quite farmed, has Philosopher's Stone, Blink, and an Aether Lens. Aghanims is pretty damn devastating this game, playing versus the Tidehunter. They can easily just break him, even setting up multiple of them onto the Jug. Could be annoying. And low, he commits. Okay, so it is going to be the Scotty. Doesn't mean that evasion is going to be problematic.
They definitely have a good attempt at killing the others. I mean, FY,
they don't have damage. Oh. They take away his mana, but that's it. Oh, they actually threw the Venom.
I mean, he ain't dying.
He's fine with
He's
that.
nowhere close to dying in here.
He actually takes like pretty much 0 damage, and that just might be a call to go Roshan.
100-second cooldown.
Don't know.
Tian Ming put to waste.
I don't think they would have been able to really contest it anyway on Azure, so let's see how much they get out of the map. They probably should know that this is happening, but gonna get the push going.
I'm gonna say get pretty low there. No, I didn't. Okay, does have the regen room.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They'll get it. Azure get themselves a tier 2.
Looks like they are going to get the Aegis to Shiro as he throws on the side. I feel like it's pretty unkillable, but they want to play it safe. Make sure there's no chance of this Medusa dying.
He's the building hitter. They probably just want to siege.
That's true.
I think that at this point in the game, PSG LGD maybe just set themselves up to go for this push, and just that's where you challenge Azure. Right? Yeah, you guys are getting some farm, but are you going to be able to deal with this Medusa on the push? Can you actually kill her? Low, Scotty's done. Almost has that big level 20 talent that's going to be coming online. I have to say it, of course, too. I don't know if I didn't get to say it this time around, but this is the one few lifesteal that goes through Medusa's mana shield. So let's see if it does make a difference here for Azure.
Has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Done on Chalice, so at least some way to slow down Medusa's push a little bit.
FY actually using his focus fire to bottom tower, forcing a reaction.
See, the option for Shiro actually going to be the BKB rather than the Skadi.
Okay. Very defensive.
Allows him to stand his ground, fight without the threat of being caught by some sort of Ravage into a focus fire potentially.
Hey, Shiro, he does have, what, almost 5,000 net worth advantage over the Jug, but looking at Low's levels, he's actually level 20. So he's at the same level as this Medusa, even though this Medusa's been getting all this free farm.
Low.
They're actually setting down here.
Down with FY and Somnus.
This might catch them off guard.
See if Low can start it. He's in with the Omni Slash. Bouncing around a decent amount. Sure, it's very low on the mana. He goes forward with the zip towards Planet, trying to finish with the spot, but they both get clipped by the Stone Gaze. Low and Somnus. Out of trouble. As Low, he's going to go for the blade for the TPI. Chalice comes in with the Ravage. With the help of Tian Ming, they do take out Planet. If they can get more, they'll get Why You Smile. They catch the 2 support. Chalice is going to be able to get the Meteor Hammer down onto Neil. The backup comes in for PSG LGD. Nothing to say turns up. As Azure Ray, they've got a split from this.
Are they all going to get out?
He's into the trees. He TPs away. Chalice also able to get away from this. Azure Ray, they will manage to escape here.
They literally get away with murder. A Ravage to disengage, but honestly worth it.
Well, FY.
FY, maybe he won't.
Around.
Blink. He's got it.
He's also good.
That's huge. Into this Aegis, into BKB reveal of the Medusa. They cause panic. They cause
Radiant's
right here from PSG LGD.
A difficult move to execute there.
Yeah. Low. Can he actually walk over and perhaps even steal a Wisdom Rune? Might be possible here. He already took his. Slowing down the momentum, though. This is the Aegis push timing that LGD wanted to ideally kind of set up here with that BKB purchase. The 3 cores are farming. Sure, Ray. Feeling confident. Gem now purchased up for Somnus. Oh, and they're scaling.
They are, and you know, when you look at the sort of the scaling of PSG LGD, nothing to say, starting to fall a little bit behind.
And Neo as well too.
It's going to be a lot resting on the shoulders of Shiro. This Dusa could be turning into sort of a 1v5 situation. Or protect one. They do. Shiro alive in these fights, and they'll stand a good chance. But we did see that down bottom. I mean, Shiro, sure he didn't go down, he didn't lose the Aegis, but his mana did drop pretty quick to just the overwhelming damage when Azure are able to fully focus the Medusa in the midst of the fight.
And that's before Low does have anything like that, MKB or anything like that. Low is just building his own items. He's worrying about that later on. He's like, okay, got my Scotty, I'm tanky. That definitely helps a lot too there. If he didn't have it, maybe does die down bottom. He now has the Aghanims in a second here too. So he's looking for timings. He's looking to scale and go for this for the late game. Sure. He's honestly looking pretty good. Jure is able to keep this up.
If Low can kind of get him with the rest and kill the rest of the team, Tian Ming will get caught. Another kill for Shiro. But yeah, it has this joke definitely itemizing to kind of kill everyone else and then deal with the Medusa when the rest is gone. And there's a good chance that they can do that. They've got heroes that can kind of back off to fight the Medusa after a start of a fight where they get in and mid squishy.
And they get Chalice here. Shiro, he's here. Should be able to kill this Tide.
That's Ravage in a second if he wants to try and live a little longer. Tries the TP out, but the Brood still connects. He won't pop the Ravage for this one. He'll accept his fate.
Back to the push. They still have 50 seconds on the Aegis.
He's dead for a while. Down for a minute. No buyback on Chalice.
Okay. Is Azure gonna just... Are they gonna react or are they gonna push bottom to try to force...
I mean, they're gonna take some hits on the base here.
Yeah.
Shiro.
Strax could be in trouble.
Under attack.
It's a difficult call now for Azure. Do they try and slow down this push, or do they just have to let the damage be done here?
They're cutting the wave. They pop the glyph to try to kill this wave, but the counter glyph coming out for PSGLG, they're consistently going here.
Yeah, they should get this unless some sort of fight comes in quickly. I mean, Lowe's TPing back over. They have the glyph. Still 30 seconds without Chalice, without that front line. It's hard to start a defense.
TPing back, resetting his mana.
Low. They'll jump forward here with a swift slash. Shiro doesn't care too much. Still standing his ground. Planet tries to get the lasso, but indeed the Lincoln's catching him by surprise.
Planet now in trouble, maybe.
He's on the mana. Got the disruption to try and keep him safe. Shiro also with the stone gaze ends up catching onto FY. FY don't on us. He'll zip him, commits him with the BKB. He's trying to finish off Planet. The jump forward, the second should be able to get him.
Well, that's just a swift flash, actually.
Slow. He's trying to push back Shiro. Shiro's going to go for the BKB TP out. Got the push done. They got the melee rack. They just want to cut their losses. They won't be able to save New though. The Vortex is there to stop the TP out. Jure will come in with a couple of hits, get 2 kills off the back of this defense, but the defense not coming soon enough to keep the melee racks alive. As LGD, they get the objective.
It's just the melee racks though. They have the heroes to be able to counter that. I mean, Low, he gets a big kill on the retreat. That's going to be getting one component of that MKB finished, and now back the other way. Chalice, he's back up.
And then they can push for this. I mean, off that defense as well. They get the kills, and Low didn't have to use the Omni Slash itself, so still has the ult.
Yeah, I thought that was actually it. Then it's just look. Yeah, he just had picked up the Aghanim, some Swift Slash. Shiro, he actually commits the gold here, so he's got a silver edge. This scary moments here if he does show himself.
Hard for them to jump into the base.
Into the base.
Chalice, I guess if he sees a chance, could get him with a Blink Ravage, but it's hard for them to full commit because of the saves that they have. You know, disruption coming in onto Shiro can mean that it's not too simple for Low to just go forward and drop the Omni Slash onto the Medusa.
This is still neck and neck, really, and just this Jug just continues to get these items. Even as big as Shiro is, I think Low is starting to get to these points of these answers to have to deal with him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just going to be up to these catches. If they keep catching Chalice outside the base for them to get these push, maybe Roche is going to be a big indicator of who's going to be able to get this one in these next few, if they get these pickoffs. LGD's looking for it.
Yes, LGD coming out with the smoke.
Tense moments.
Chalice, he's going to be the focus here. Planet starts things off with the lasso. We'll get the halberd off in time onto Shiro, so he takes some of the immediate damage that comes out of return, and will pop the Ravage this time in an attempt to escape.
But he's got no buddies.
There's nobody here to help him. Chalice, he will be gone.
These deaths are, I mean, these deaths definitely mean a lot. Aghanim's now finished up for the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, and even if he comes in with a buyback, Ravage was dropped, so no Ravage for the next 2 minutes for Azure.
Can PSGLGD set up for the push here? It's 50 seconds till we find out how long Roche is going to be, too. That's a couple deaths now for Chalice. Those are painful ones. But you see Azure, not overreacting to it. They're still going to be able to get themselves this farm here on these side lanes.
Flames will spread thrice.
Time for a bit of a push on this tier 2 tower top themselves. The tower is going to push Low very close to the gold for getting the MKB completed.
Very farmed. I was looking to see if they were building any type of solar press for him. They prioritized, as we said, the Lincolns from before versus the Bat Rider. They just want the big items, it looks like. Or it's a Hex even queued up now for this Venomancer. Shiro getting the push started bottom. Got the Shadow Demon behind him.
Starting to TP back.
And as we said, for the Shadow Demon is done, so that break as well as the double Demonic Purge.
We'll be back up in 5, but no Ravage to be safe for the defense.
Push Shiro up here.
Whoa, what I missed?
Trying to step in there. With the Shadow Shot, Vortex to drag them back as well. In with the Swift Slash. Holding back with the Omni Slash, but now use the Flame Fury to back away.
She's in trouble.
KB in the Stone Gaze. They're focusing Chalice to get the lasso on onto Low, but Low, he's able to get the Omni Slash shot. Does enough damage. It's been spent really nicely. They'll get caught again. Low, Shiro on his ground and heal. They're taking the man out of Shiro. Shiro's still alive. Jump out for Chalice with the gun. Shiro, he's going to get protected.
He's alive.
Disruption. He's still alive, but he's incredibly low. Can they finish it? The tentacles will get him. Chalice finishes the kill there with the tendrils of the deep.
FY does buyback too, but they lose the jug. I mean, Low, he actually committed the gold there. Doesn't have the buyback, he'll get the kill, but an expensive hold there for Azure.
Or buyback. Here now. And they can back up, they can reset PSG LGD, wait for Shiro to get back in the game, and then almost certainly look for the Roshan.
I mean, this Omni Slash was pretty pathetic. It did like 0 damage. I think what they have. I think they had the Crimson Guard active perhaps onto them or something there, because it really looked like it did almost 0 damage when he jumped onto them.
Let's have a look again. And we see that the way they start things, they're able to group them together, but there's a lot of buffs being pushed out here with the Crimson, the Pipe.
Yeah, I think he did. I mean, either way, he did have almost both of them there, but they do get the chain CC, and I guess they didn't get the linkings to throw onto him either, because he did get lassoed from Planet, pulling him right back into Shiro's hands.
Yeah, Low just not doing quite enough, and
not quite enough.
Definitely a little bit of a sigh of relief for Azure that they did actually kill Shiro at the end, because Shiro, he nearly got away. Final tickle with the tentacles of Chalice's shard was enough to get the kill. But yeah, still definitely a scary one there for Azure. I believe as well, because before that fight, Courier did have the full MKB on, right?
Did it die on it?
Yeah, it got taken out.
Oh, that could have actually been the difference maker.
He would have had the MKB otherwise. Before he went in with that Omni Slash, he didn't have it.
Maybe it would have been
getting sniped somewhere.
Yeah, if he's able to even like sit and get a couple extra hits off too, could be the difference. But I think he was broken as well too. That's the other thing about the SD versus this Blade Dance. You know, you just break the Blade Dance, then there is no Blade Dance lifesteal even if you do stand your ground versus something like Deuces. So lots of layers for PSG LGD. Level 20 now also hit for Niu, so we saw that, you know, the Omni Slash not do the most damage there. Now he has 15% more action-free aura reduction.
Right. They're smoking up there now. They've got to try and bring the fight here around this portion of the game where Roshan will be back up in a few seconds. They head straight towards the top.
Gathered around Shiro, they're very strong.
Do have Ravage now, ready to use for Chalice. But indeed, just still a minute where MKB's just not going to be there for the jump.
And there's the jump.
They get the drag back with the lasso. They get a quick catch onto Tianming. And Azure, I don't know if they can still try and take this fight 4 vs 5. They do have the buyback available on Tianming. Low's team over.
Like you said, the MKB's just not on him.
So much. He's going to try and make the jump here. In with the switch action, they only said
disruption.
They get the Ravage. Along the tentacle, they're trying to kill YU Smart. The Crimson, the Pipe there. YU Smart still alive. Finally for Shiro moves in with the Stone Gauge. They heal the one beam right off the side. The PSG, they're able to find it. Low's in trouble. They drag there with the vortex. They put the root onto Low, but Low, he's going to live for now. He's slash through it all. Gets another swift slash up. He's getting solo. They will kill him. He's out for 100. The buybacks are coming out for PSG LGD. They want to force this fight in their favor so they can be the ones to take the Roshan. And with Low out for 90, Tianming as well out for 90. No buybacks on the two of them. PSG LGD, they should be able to secure this for themselves.
Heavy buybacks needed for them to get this one here. Honestly, and if Low had the MKB, I feel like we could see something completely different there because he was standing his ground, getting the lifesteal kind of going.
He's got it now, but yet it's sort of two painful fights that they've had to endure without it that definitely hurt much more than that they could have if that courier wasn't sniped earlier. That's PSG LGD. A heavy investment with the 3 buybacks. The big one, of course, being that of Shiro's. He's back in action with the Aegis on him now. So that level of safety, level of protection. Chalice is going to get caught out separate as he's now gone for nearly 2 minutes with his buyback on cooldown. They can look to run it down mid.
Oh yeah, they've got a good window to push here. Shiro almost 25 also. Yeah, he can commit his gold soon having that swift blink. You can see how much attention they're trying to kill. Even these supports, these auras, honestly, Niu.
And he's saving the team multiple times there.
We've seen Underlord kind of suffer a bit here at this tournament, but this, I mean, the Crimson and everything is definitely looking super valuable versus this damage. 20 seconds. See if the Jug's going to hold it without Chalice.
It's going to be a hard hold.
This could be. They could get Megas here. They have quite a bit of time without the Tidehunter.
I mean, they could go for tier 4. They know the Chalice doesn't have buybacks.
Okay, they're actually just committing for mid.
They're looking to end it.
Okay.
Somnus, he's going to have to come back and do something to slow this down. He'll start fueling the mana back up in the fountain. They'll put the fortification. They've got the 4 of them up now.
Counterglyph from PSG LGD. They're keeping the creeps alive.
Can they keep this push from PSG LGD away from the base? Somnus is going to go with the zip on the 2 of them. They'll try with the shackle shot, won't connect. Disruption going to be popped up on the Shiro. They've got the catch on FY's gone. He does not have buyback. Low commits it onto the fight. Shiro, the Manus is
damage.
Does he wants, and he did put Stone Gaze before he died.
That's true.
He won't have ult here on the respawn. Shiro attempting to stand his ground. Neither they're trying to back out. At least Niu's out of there. Low trying to heal up with the blade.
Trying.
Giving him a bit of the stain. Not enough. He's out. out, no buyback as PSG actually they turn towards the Ancient. They'll look to close this up as there's nothing more to be done. GG is called. PSG LGD take game 2.
Long fought battle here, but Shiro, he ends up being able to hold his ground. This Medusa's strong enough. The AORUS, they kind of make the difference in these last few team fights for sure. Great persistence, and getting these catches, I feel like on Chalice were pretty big. I feel like that kind of allowed PSG LGD to keep themselves just that little bit ahead to get these push setups over and over again to force the reaction.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move.
sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Can I be your superhero? Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I play
500 again, this time with the techies. And a Timbersaw very early on Aurora. It looks like we already know what Dean's gonna play.
Not a new hero, but a new hero.
But he won with a new hero, not a new hero.
Well, maybe he's trying to say, it is a new hero, it is my hero, so now give me my hero. I don't want to play Underlord anymore. I mean, I think maybe because Azure took the Medusa out, so definitely that's not a strong enough reason to pick Underlord anymore. Like Rezo, you mentioned, he's just a really shitty hero right now, especially for the first. She just doesn't do anything as well as the other heroes that can do, especially Tidehunter here that Azure prioritized in Game 2, and now again, they took it like right off the bat. Like they don't even care the lane match. They just want this hero, and I can understand that because it's a very stable hero and it just helps you to adapt your draft a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I think for these teams right now, the Shadow Demon is a huge priority since they like this edgy carry, like, you know, the Dusa, the Juggernauts, the Naga Sirens, and I think whatever team has the Shadow Demon has a big advantage on the others, just because, like, you know, you have this lane show mechanics, you have a save, you have initiation against the enemy carry hero as well. Like if you get first spell on him, then he's gonna have troubles fighting. So I think it's gonna be addressed one way or the other, and whatever, like, whoever gets the Shadow Demon is gonna have a big advantage in this series.
I think Azure should definitely try to snatch it because they have the third pick first, right? They can ban whatever they don't want this Tidehunter to be facing, and then they just pick the SD. I think it's really good against Brother and somewhat good against Timbersaw because you cut his health in. Oh wait, no, that's the old SD. My bad. But in a way, I just think SD, just like you said, he is very good against edgy heroes, but he's also kind of very good against like strength heroes because you kind of want to keep advancing, but all his spells just makes you very like you move basically. So Medusa has already showcased that I'm already slow, but like having this SD on the other team, I literally can't move. I'm just gonna stand there and like hope I get something, I guess. But Timbersaw, in a way, he is much more mobile than other like tanky heroes, I would say. But I still think it's very difficult when the Timbersaw goes in and he doesn't kill anyone and he has to reset his spells and take the longer fight. I don't think it's what Timbersaw really wants, because your team might, you know, like all die out and leaving you alone to fight the other heroes on the other enemy side.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's just like necessarily good against Timber, but it's good against Batrider because you can save your cores from getting initiated on. And yeah, Azure is not taking that path, so maybe LGD will think about that.
Yeah, it just comes down to how good is Shadow Demon when there's no like Morph, Dusa type of heroes.
Yeah, it's not as cool. So it definitely needs a purpose.
Yeah,
one way or the other. Like whether you have your edge hero to play with or you have like something to counter from the enemy lineup.
But I will say my favorite games so far at this tournament have been games where Morph, Dusa, and Naga have all been banned. Because now we get to see some new carry heroes. Some heroes that actually have to have a laning stage. You get to see more trading, more efficiency things. Whereas, you know, you play against Morph Dusa, it feels like the laning stage, except for game number 1, Dusa got kind of crushed. But that's kind of how Dusa works in general. It's either it crushes really hard or it feeds. Where there's a lot of other matchups where you can pick these carries like Clinks that Shiro does like to play. Very volatile, where there's gonna all these little things that happen in the laning stage matter so much. Like if you can get on top of the Clinks in the lane, this hero can feed like crazy, but if you don't manage to get on top of him, he can do a lot of work to this Tidehunter.
Yeah,
but the Naga Siren is still in, or is that just not good against PSG LGD with Timbersaw?
To me, it seems like the Naga Siren is always good in this match.
It does feel like it.
It does feel like it, right?
You could be dissuaded because you are playing versus Timber. There's no way Naga's good versus Timber. Yeah, I would imagine, but
at the same time, you can still like the ways, and it seems like she always gets to perform like her timings very well. Yeah, no matter what hero he's playing against.
That's kind of why people are really picking the Naga, though. Like,
yeah.
Is it worth like late picking in this scenario? That's more.
I mean, I think on this 18th pick, they can choose whether they want to go for like PL or Naga.
Maybe they're just thinking not to put too much pressure on Somnus because they already have the Tyra and the Ty is gonna be exposed towards LGD, so they're thinking if we take Naga, maybe the best she can do is just 50-50 the lane against Timbersaw, but like what else then? What can we do? Because look at their supports, they don't really have anything to start the fight. They can only kind of react against LGD. So maybe they don't want Naga to be in their draft because it can kind of be very laid back, and it's not going to stop this Bone from farming because, like you mentioned, Bone is a very different carry hero. He doesn't need to, go to the NC camps and actually get farmed. He can just, shove the lanes and then get out. Like, he doesn't have problem finding farm nowadays. But he does have a weakness, which is he cannot be the only win condition.
That's a very good pick.
I love that pick, yeah, as well. I was thinking about Ursa as well for them, but Faceless Void makes even more sense because it's really hard for Timber to pressure him in the lane. He doesn't really care about his spells. He can always time walk, and
10 seconds
it's just
remaining.
like LG has no save, so whenever he like chronos somebody, he can Snapfire ult and take his damage to, towards the chronosphere. It's actually a wonderful pick.
Yeah, I mean, Klinks hates playing versus hero as well. One chrono, you are dead every single time. Yeah. Every time I think about Ursa, I just scrap it from my memory because it feels like no matter how good of an Ursa game it is, nobody picks that hero. And there's a couple games I have seen it get picked, it just can't survive the laning stage. But somehow Void slipped in my memory here. But this is one, you're playing versus Bat and Timber, right? The time dilation is amazing this game. Against every hero right now, as they all have multiple cooldowns, and I think having a really good Void game is being able to fight without chrono, and if it's good time dilation game, it makes it that much easier.
Yeah, that's definitely a brilliant pick from Azure.
Do we think that this Timber saw is going mid? Because we have Azure banning out the Underlord. So they think that maybe they want to shift the Timber to the mid lane?
I think they just want to make sure that Void is going to have a good game no matter what. So they're preparing for that. And for the last pick, they still have the very last pick, so they can counter the enemy mid anyway. So they don't really care what they're going to pick.
How important is it to have a save against Faceless Void? We saw yesterday one of our first ODs of the tournament. Is that still an option?
I think it's not that easy to play OD against Faceless Void now because your cast range for your second spell is not that far, and you kind of don't want to expose yourself before the TIE Hunter. So if you want to fight against like Chrono and Ravage, it's definitely not very easy for you to just go in and save someone. I would actually want to say this Winter Wyvern or nothing to say. He has played quite a few times. I don't think it's that bad, but there are some answers from Azure's side because they have quite heavy magical damage, and Faceless Void can kind of be one of the heroes that makes Wyvern's game. Ooh.
Damn.
Why?
Do we like this? Do we not like this?
I'm not sure.
Isn't Void also a counter to the Tinker?
I don't know if that's a counter. I think Tinker's really hard to catch for Void.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's fine. But what is Tinker countering in this game? Normally when I see Tinker, it's versus some illusion heroes, right? And they have none of that right now. I guess you can make an argument playing Tinker against like these tides and stuff. You can spam them down. This is a kind of like a crazy pick here from LGD. We talked about New's hero pool and how you need to be responsible on nothing to say here and just play like these stuns for the game, and they don't have that many stuns, just their supports here and nothing to say. Just like this feels like a cocky like swag pick. I'm gonna pick Tinker, I'm gonna carry this game, and you got some options now if you're Azure to counter pick this, and you know Somnus has a big hero pool.
I think Zeus is amazing this game, no?
It is.
Like there's I mean, they have some supports to get on top of him, yes, but it's very. Oh, they decided to go for this one.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, I think Zeus is really great for the team fight, but they might have some map issues because LGD does have the Timber that can, like stand in front and do some pressure, and then this Batrider and Clockwork is just really annoying. Like they can both just stand on each lane, and then this Klinks is gonna, like connect to either side if they feel they can kill whoever is defending that side. And I might be a little bit copium here, but I feel like the Tinker is out here because they want to buy back to the fights where Azure has already used all their ults and kind of take the fight back again. Because in a way, like Klinks, there's no way Klinks carry this game, right? So they need someone from the mid to carry the game, but there's not many heroes left. And if we talk about TA or Lash, sure they're good against FW in a way, but there's too many damage, too many stuns, too many things to destroy their game aside from this Chrono. So it can be very difficult, but having this Tinker I just think they want to play the annoying game, you know, like just mentally torture you for like 60 minutes and then we win because you use all your spells and we have buybacks.
Fear, she said it. There's no way Klinks can carry this game.
I mean, he has to carry it in a different way, not in the late game. He's got to channel the inner me from 2015 here and run around the map and make some space.
Be like
hope, you know, nothing to say, can just take the late game.
You know that commercial by Michael Jordan? It'd be like Mike. Be like Fear. Just Fear. Make this pay. But to me, it's like either Tinker is gonna 1v9 or Azure lineup is just way more stable and solid and they're gonna take it slower.
So they put all the responsibility on responsibility man, nothing to say here.
Correct.
It's like it.
Right, so who's gonna advance? Is that responsibility well played?
I mean, he's a great player, but I feel like it's really easy for supports to just shut him down, and I think Shiro's job is very difficult, so if they do win this game, I think Shiro has to play the Klinks game of his life.
Alright, channel your inner fear, play the Klinks game of your life, Shiro. We're gonna find out what's gonna happen together with Odie Pixel and Fog.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, the deciding game here, ladies and gentlemen, between Azure and PSG LGD. And we're getting the nothing to say Tinker coming in here, Fog. What do you make of it? Do you feel this is a game where indeed this Tinker can kind of 1v9, or do you think there's too many issues for him coming out from Azure's draft?
Oh, and this looks like a really hard game for PSG LGD, I gotta be honest. I think they have to make some magic work around cooldowns. There is so much team fight on the side of Azure. Sometimes that can hurt, of course, if they don't layer them properly or anything like that, and LGD is able to take advantage of it, but this Tinker pick for me feels almost forced in a way. I think they were maybe put in a position where they're like, we need this super kind of carry for mid. We banned the Storm Ember, tried to set up for it, but there's still another Spirit left. All these Spirits do have merit versus Tinker. Yeah, the lane can be a little bit annoying for them, but in the mid game, if they're able to get on the Tinker, that's kind of always the answer. If you get on Tinker, you might just die. Let's see if there's some hidden tech up Nothing to Say Sleeve, because I think I'm seeing him queuing up a phylactery on Tinker.
Yep, phylactery Tinker.
Okay.
Oh, so you've probably seen it in your pubs. We'll see if it works out here for him.
I've only seen it in pubs, so let's see if that's going to end up working out. I personally really like the way Azure's draft is set up here. I think they have great late game scaling. I think they have a lot of answers and stuff here. This Timber could get to some realms of being incredibly tanky if he gets off to a good start to protect and body for this Tinker, but this Timber could get, strong to body for the Tinker. Lots of robots in this game. But yeah, let's see how these lanes end up going down here. Could be difficult. I'm going to be looking at top. I'm going to see how much YuSmile is able to put the pressure to be able to protect Shiro, because this doesn't sound the easiest here for a Klinks.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think they sort of saw this game, that, or at least with regards to what they know that Azure was going to want to play like, that made them want to go for the Shiro carry Klinks here?
I'm not sure, honestly. He just really likes the hero, so maybe he saw something where he's going to be able to just like sneak around the fights and play around cooldowns, but doesn't look that easy for him. Playing versus Void, Chrono, playing versus all this heavy damage that's coming in. Hero can be pretty fragile if he gets caught inside of these spells.
Will the lane be easy for him, or do you feel it could get pretty difficult for the Klinks in the safe lane?
It feels pretty hard. I think it's, I was saying, I think it's all up to YuSmile how much he's going to be able to do. If he's going to be able to like bonk heroes back with the cogs, can he disrupt FY's harassment? Because it's not easy to lane versus Techie's Tide. Wind Ranger Tide, it wasn't nearly as strong as this one. Gosh, push those right clicks from Techies is very, very difficult to deal with. Yeah, let's see. A mid, Nothing to Say. He should have a good time in the lane in particular. Just have to see what ends up going down in the mid game. Yeah, cool thing. I actually like the point that Aurora was saying was kind of cool though, because it's a very it can be a fast-paced lineup with no cooldown reliance, really too much for the side of PSG LGD in comparison to Azure, but we'll see if that actually plays out in practice.
Shiro, so far, not doing too bad on
Not
that.
bad.
Yeah,
pretty good.
So she's still able to get the last hits despite FY and Chalice's constant pressure.
Yeah, he had to use a ton of mana already at this point, but there's a lot of wand charges, of course, they're going to be giving up here. Both lanes just giving up stick after stick after stick. Bottom, this should be a pretty damn good lane for Neo. He should be quite free down here. Unless he makes some really big mistake, he should be able to farm down here nicely versus Void in the Snapfire. Yeah, and they're actually slowing down Luke quite a bit. Waves.
Pretty much. Just say they expect the lead here for Nothing to Say, playing nicely around the laser. I'm sure Somers has still got abilities to get the CS with, but not so many.
Yeah, he should come out ahead on denies. Last hits maybe will look just maybe like 1 or 2 ahead, maybe something like that for nothing to say, but denies are going to be the big one to look at for him.
Planet. I mean, aggressive down here. Whilst Neo might not die, Planet certainly has to be a bit cautious if they find a chance to turn with the Scatter Blast and the Cookie.
Who got the Lotus? It was the Snapfire. I'm pretty damn happy with that one. But Lotus, and he is definitely suffering last hits, but it's similar as the Clinks in a way. Level 3, not quite onto the Clockwork Shiro. He steps up a little far. FY.
Midsomnus. He's going to have to back up and look for the refill from the bounty ring. The spam for nothing to say, getting a bit too much from him in that mid matchup right now.
Yeah, and Deathpact is actually doing a decent job of actually getting Shiro some good farm up here because he's just tankier than I think they anticipated with the spam that they've been able to throw onto him. Taking away this ruin, Somnus.
Radiant structures
maybe even trying for a solo kill. If he finds a good positioning there, he could have maybe gotten him.
I mean, this is a good couple of waves where Somnus has had to miss out on.
That's huge.
Nothing to say, getting good space down the mid, keeping the waves pushed in as well. So almost certainly going to be another entire wave, perhaps, that Somnus is going to miss out.
Massive. 28. Quite a big advantage now at this point. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Phylactery. Like I said, I haven't seen that one in a program just yet, so see what he's going to be able to make do with it. A lot of damage harassment.
Yeah, adds up.
Yeah.
When you're coming in with these to this kind of essentially buffed up laser, that laser hits harder than ever.
Yeah, all 3 lanes look pretty good. Chalice is keeping up that farm, but the pressure that's being applied to low is definitely a little bit more than it is onto Shiro at the moment here.
Yeah, Shiro's dealing with it.
Yeah, he's handling it. Yu is sitting a little bit low here down bottom. Be okay if he's able to just reset back up with the regen. Shiro getting the last hits.
Yeah, Clock's just doing a great job. Making sure that Chalice and FY are always held back far enough that Chalice is never really able to get in on top of Shiro in this lane.
Yeah, it's a free regen. Deathpack. All right. Maybe that's why he wanted it, right? He saw that they have this harassment lane, but he's like, all right, I can sustain for it. I have Deathpack constantly. Not free farming by any means, but pretty damn well. Low setting to recover. Why? He's in trouble.
He's got a wand and a Fairy Fire and a Lotus. There goes the Lotus, there goes the wand, there goes the Fairy Fire. What?
He actually gets
down. He nearly jumps away, but that final right click coming in from Why You Smile will claim first blood for PSG LGD.
Good chase forward here. Pesky Clinks, level 2 Tar Bomb online. He's able to get that little bit of extra connection. 2 Battery Assault too. And lane's looking nice.
This is a really good start for nothing to say, Tinker.
And Neo, he's almost got his Vanguard down bottom. He's already free farming, and definitely some damage issues in the early game on the side of Azure Ray to push this guy out until they have, I mean, in particular, Snapfire Kisses. Their damage is not going to be able to force Neo out too early. Power Runes, that advantage here now with Why You Smile. He wants to set up for it for nothing to say. They should be able to body for it. We'll just...
Somnus, even though he got that refuel, he's back out of bolt charges again.
Yeah,
and
already.
Another round of the spell to nothing to say in a few seconds is going to put Somnus back in a position where just staying in this lane, it's proven to be very difficult for the Void Spirit.
Level 6. Nothing to say, can just keep resetting and coming back here. Low. He does not have Time Walk. Close.
Oh, they got him!
They got him.
Big kill. Big kill on the bottom lane. It's going to push Neo halfway through the 5. If he gets that 6, and this lane's going to start to become unplayable for life.
Excellent start for them for this year. Chalice also.
I mean, Shiro and Why You Smile, they're able to bully the tide.
Off the bar.
Blast off. They won't catch him with the blast off. They will get him with the cookie.
And look how tanky Shiro is.
He can kind of stand his ground, especially with the backup of Planet. Planet's turned up to the top lane. They cannot kill Shiro. It's going to be Xiaomin going down. They get the snap. FY and Chalice push back under the tower. As PSG LGD have had a great hold so far of all 3 lanes, making this early game very, very tough for Azure Ray.
I really think that they thought this Clinks was going to be a lot more fragile, but you're seeing why Shiro does like to play it. He is ridiculously tanky, and he just keeps, every time, Deathpack to back up, he's healing. So the harassment from techies, it's being answered. A 3k lead just off lanes. Wisdom Rune, double claimed.
And FY.
Might just find another one.
Why You Smile? He was there waiting for him. FY's gone. Why You Smile? It's his turn in this series to have the good game on the clock.
Devastating lane start here. Azure Ray have big ultimates once they do get their levels coming in here, but they're getting pushed out of lanes. Towered bottom already drops.
They're getting completely crushed on all fronts here.
Lanes. Looking fantastic here. Almost the phylactery also finished up to nothing to say. They might have to just kind of start breaking lanes, moving the supports around to try to get some levels, because they don't claim the Wisdom Runes. They lose the lanes. Where are you going to get levels for the two supports now on Azure?
I mean, it's just going to be such a hard game for Somnus. You know, on the Void Spirit, definitely they're kind of the least of the popular of the spirits right now, and for good reason. If you have a slow start, you can become very underwhelming very quickly.
And low, I mean, Neo could just continue to play to kind of bully him out here every time he shows into the lane. This Void not going to have a good time recovering in this game after this lane. And he's just going to keep diving and keep the pressure on the tower. Time Walk is used, but Neo is probably just going to commit onto him.
They'll catch while you smile.
Okay.
Somnus, he's got another Astral.
Is he dead?
This is going to hurt if they didn't get it. They got the stick in mind. They needed to find that. They needed to find something, Azure. They'll take down while you smile. It's something. It's not a lot.
Low just, I think he's like, he gets one last hit and then has to time walk every single time with Mew. Yeah, he's now going to force him out of here, Blue. Oh, Low tries to time walk, but actually doesn't get rid of any of the damage. Mew, just go for the kill.
Tianming coming over to help out, so back away.
Somnus feeling that pressure. He's queued up the Midas Owen. Not something you see too often on a Void Spirit.
Oh, no.
That does not feel good.
No. I mean, yeah. That's basically Somnus kind of conceding that this game's kind of over. You do not go Midas on Void Spirit unless very, very bad things have happened.
Yeah, these lanes just... I don't think they anticipated these lanes to go this way. This is excellent stuff here from PSGLG. I think Black, it's done on nothing to say.
I mean, if they're able to pull this back somehow around the recovery of a Midas Void Spirit, that is going to be definitely one of the more impressive things we will have seen this major.
Chalice, he stepped up a bit far. Shiro setting up for him here. They have rotations. More than enough damage. There's the phylactery.
Yeah, this phylactery Tinker, it hits hard. This Tinker, I mean, nothing to say. He is absolutely primed to just completely take over the entirety of this game with this sort of start. He couldn't have wished for anything better.
No, I mean, godly start. It's all three lanes, right? All three lanes looking so good. The supports, as we said, took the Wisdom Runes away, so how are these support levels on the side of Azure? Level 5 is actually hit on FY somehow here, but level 4 only on this Snapfire. I feel like you just have to give them a lane. You might just have to do some kind of weird stuff. You give this Snapfire mid, but Neo is in the mid lane now, and he can actually look to dive the Snapfire if he steps up too far.
I mean, they can't kill Neo.
I'm looking at bottom. Nothing to say. Looks like he's potentially trying to sneak onto low here. Is he going to be able to just burst him?
Hard for him to chase him down when he hasn't quite got the blink, but still can give him a nasty bit of a shot.
Right, like throw some rockets down here. He's getting kind of low.
Middle tower is under attack.
Top lane,
Shiro.
Trying to get him. He's going to get back up. I mean, Ravage ready to come across. The Ravage will catch the two of them. With the damage, Shiro. He'll get taken out, but they will certainly lose Chalice for that.
Right, that was a cool looking Ravage. It caught him on the hook shot. Flies in the air as he comes through. FY. Get away. Looks like he will. But Neo, look at the pressure. Takes bottom tower, rotates toward mid, bullying the Snapfire back. Jianming not getting much experience in the mid lane. He needs this XP so badly on the Snap. He's the early damage for the game, especially if Somnus is going Midas. Somnus spamming help.
Top tower is under attack.
Midases.
Midas, where's Chalice's?
Radiant's middle tower.
You know,
it's kind of a Midas. It's a meteor hammer, you know, it's kind of a Midas.
Indeed, but yeah, as you say, Midas, at least for Low, he's got his finish. Low's Midas is done.
So they're really going to look to slow the pace of this game down. So yeah, we see that cool looking Ravage there.
And killing Shiro, it's something for sort of the morale of Azure Ray. But they're definitely going to be feeling that overall, this Tinker, I mean, all three cores, but the Tinker in particular, nothing to say. They know what's coming.
He's set up.
They're going to know what's coming. This Tinker having this sort of a start, nothing to say. He doesn't throw away these sort of games.
They're contesting the Ancients too. FY, dropping low. I mean, nothing to say. It's like, oh, give me this. This is juicy. The laser, he'll get some. Heavy rotations.
They've got the chrono, but yeah, still we're not quite having the 6 on Tianming. They absolutely need the kisses to come into play. Otherwise, killing these tanky cores in the chrono, it's just not going to happen.
They got the majority. I think it was only like 2 or 3 maybe even for nothing to say, but it does cause all of the Azure Ray heroes to kind of swing over to try to protect that Insomnus. 0-0-1 still doesn't even have his Midas. instantly shows himself top. Neo, he has a haste rune. They're going for him. They're looking to push him out of this lane. And Neo, he just wants to hit towers. They might actually just stand and body the tower here.
So there's no damage on the map right now that threatens Neo.
Nope. Nope. No kisses are online. This Timber is unkillable.
And even then, I mean, he's already got the cloak coming out, so that magic resist will be there for Neo.
And he's got the occult bracelet too. He got the dream. Cloak plus that versus this magic damage.
Timing for nothing to say. Blink dagger and phylactery done at 13 minutes in.
Now he can look to get. Now he can probably look to get these snipe setups onto even somebody like onto Low, perhaps, if he's able to get like a couple different salvos of the combo.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If Low's pushing out his own, yeah, this Tinker can chase him and very easily kill him.
Look at chat. I mean, disintegrates this Tide Hunter. All right,
and precise.
Talos is never going to be tanky this game.
And it's off.
They can kill everyone. Pushing out on your own it's going to guarantee your death. Nothing to say. We'll turn up and he will destroy you.
Glad to be totally wrong. I really thought that LGD was going to have some troubles, but these lanes have proved completely otherwise. Shiro, he is all 3 cores pretty much dead, even net worth after these lanes. And the supports, as we said, just thriving. Wisdom runes, you can see how much focus FY is putting on it. They're like, we need to make sure that we get them. Somnus is actually the one to say, move over, I need it.
He needs it.
Get out of my way, supports.
He needs a lot of them. He's got the money now for the Midas.
Okay, a 7k gold lead already. They're gonna go, I mean, this feels like they kind of have to go for a smoke play to try to slow down this momentum here with their big ults. This is online.
Has to connect. They have to connect. We're Ravage into Kisses or Chrono into Kisses. It's the only way they kill, or at least have a chance of getting close to killing any of the cores.
Yep.
Radiant's middle tower
Even this Tinker is getting pretty tanky. That's why this build is kind of cool, the phylactery, right? Like, yeah, gives you this big burst damage, but look how much HP Nothing to Say has because of it too.
Yeah, I mean, if you get it at good timing, as Nothing to Say had done so this game, this phylactery rush is, it feels so strong.
It really does. Right? It gives like what 350 or something, kind of a 354 HP or something like that. It's a lot for a Tinker. He's got a wand and gauntlets, all these little things. It's a bunch of HP on the 3 cores. Not your traditional like tanky ones, but even the Clinks with these death packs is tankier than I think they expect too. You've also got Nickel Bracelet.
Eyes on Planet. This might be a kill they can get. I mean, Planet's gonna remember the last one of FY. They get the cookie forward. Planet will die, but not that FY going down in return.
They're gonna look for perhaps more here. Catching him off new. He's going behind.
Make sure so they're ready for why you're smiling to find the angle. He's gonna turn. And Low is forced to Chrono. He's got to run with this one. I mean, he's trying to hit with it. They have got the kisses coming in. Is it enough? They get onto Nothing to Say. Ashes are there. Nothing to Say. He's still alive. He's getting to the side. Somnus will finish him though. Astral Step comes into play. They have brought down the Tinker.
Low is somehow still alive.
I don't know if they can get more though. I mean, Charming, he can. Scatter Blast finds an extra bit of a kill off the back of this as he takes out Why You Smile. I mean, considering they're about 7k down, it's something.
It's something needed. It costs them everything though, right? It's a Chrono, it's a Ravage, it's Kisses, it's every single one of those ultimates. But they will get the big kill at the least. And they get Low out. I actually thought for sure he was going to drop.
It's a little bit unfortunate that it wasn't actually Somnus that got the last touch on Nothing to Say. Ends up being Tian Ming who got the gold from that kill.
Yeah, he's sad about it.
But, I mean, when you're in this position, I guess as a team, you don't care who killed the Tinker. You just want him dead at whatever cost. You get him. It's a bit of a slowdown for a PSG LGD, but they're all back on the map now. Low. They've got eyes on him. He's going to try and time walk away, but with a blink forward, goodbye to the faces forward.
Shiro, 6 Deso stacks now too. He's the one setting up for these ganks. They wanted to see them do this on the panel, but after these lanes, I mean, it's even easier for Shiro to do this with this early. Massive advantage, really. Deso, DD, he's going to rip these heroes apart. There's no ults. Azure, they need time to back up. Try to be able to get these to be refreshed, but LGD playing fast.
Radiant structure.
I mean, tower bottom is just dropping. Shiro with this DD is shredding it.
Yeah, they can't come out and defend once they don't have
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's trying to step up, but they've got eyes on him.
They don't have ults already. Kisses, 20 seconds.
I'm Nothing to Say. He's heading over towards the bottom lane to help out with this one. This is a difficult defense for Ray to try and put together.
There's a Blink Lasso Planet. If he's able to get Somnus, they have the burst as we've seen.
Shiro giving the information.
Yes.
And he's ready. At least to dissimulate in the Astral Step. He's quick and will manage to escape before the lasso comes in. TP's in on this one.
Incredibly aggressive.
He's going to be fine with the fact that Nothing to Say has actually turns his attention over towards the mid. Wants to join Why You Smile in an attempt to take down Chalice.
I mean, they're killing him.
Another round of the spells from Nothing to Say will bring Chalice down low for Why You Smile to finish him.
Secondary
jamming as well.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant's
Nothing to
middle
say,
tower
Tinker.
is under attack.
Having the dream performance here. Another tier 2 getting pressured.
Dire's
It's
top
dropping.
tower is under attack.
They're not giving space to Azure. After
Radiant's
these
middle
lanes, there's
tower is falling.
literally nowhere for them to go, nowhere for them to buy time.
Just trying to mess around with low top.
The Clockwork's already stalking. Why you smile? He wants him.
Hook shot on cooldown for 30 seconds.
Oh.
I mean, like, he might have to make a chrono TP play. I
might
think he
just
does
die.
otherwise. I mean, he's going to time warp back, but the vision's going to be there from Why You Smile. He'll drop the chrono, but I think he might still be in trouble. Is he able to live? He'll get out with the time warp. He will survive, but indeed, it's having to be these situations where chrono just being used to keep him alive.
He might get caught off too. Look at Shiro.
It's a bit risky. I mean, Hookshot's back in 15. Low's got to get out of this one. Shiro.
He might find him here.
They know that he's backing off like this. Low hill up for the TP back from the tier 1. Doesn't make the dangerous walk back towards the base. Meanwhile, they get near.
Okay, I mean, that's a pretty good kill, and that was... I guess they had to have used kiss. Oh, they didn't actually use the kisses. That's actually crazy. They didn't have to use the ult. I guess there's multiple mines connected onto him there. Yeah, when you're at this deficit. We'll have Ravage and Kisses for the next upcoming one.
7k lead still, but BSGHD, yep. Shiro's farm completely out of control.
It might still be time for Azure to look for this something. They also have FY with Spirit Vessel, so versus these tanky cores, could be the difference.
Here's the combo. Ready to go off the back of the smoke. Last time round, they're able to get big kills. They're able to catch Nothing to Say. He's definitely top priority, him and Shiro.
LGD playing it smart, though. They know that they're ultra back up. They're going to look for a fight here. They're actually just going to force the rush, get that Aegis to be able to protect one of these cores versus the big ults.
Yeah, they'll take this nicely regen as well, pumping on Nothing to Say. So they can just pound out the spells. Roshan, not a chance for him. This Aegis will be theirs.
Azure ain't nowhere near the realms to be able to contest that one here. Aegis coverage versus big ults. Gonna give it to Shiro. Probably means that we're see Azure they might like full commit onto something like Nothing to Say in the next fight.
You're gonna catch Tianming. Tianming trying to escape, but the hook shot's there.
Maybe. Solid movement, PSG LGD. Miss. Get the power rune. Nope, Shiro gets it. It's a haste. I mean, Somnus might just have to double jump or hide himself. So.
Dire structures
Not up on. Not up.
Chalice top. He's not going to want to put the Ravage here. Doesn't even get a chance to even consider it. It's Nothing to Say.
They want more.
Too much damage to be taken, and FY. Not back with the flame break. Be able to jump away, but Neo's in underneath the tower with the timber chain. FY taken down.
Set up around top too. Wisdom Rune's going to soon be spawning if PSG LGD want to stick in the area.
Radiant's top
They'll steal that one away again.
Attack.
Relentless aggression. Cooldown's up for Azure, but they cannot connect together here. LGD just swinging from bottom to top very quickly to be able to look for these heroes. Yeah, we're seeing Chalice is having such a rough one. There's just way too much burst damage to be able to bring down this tide. He cannot act as this frontliner. Wisdom Rune, Azure puts a lot of attention to it. Somnus again. They're hunting him.
They're going to catch him. Hook shot into the cold pushback. It's enough to Sable to set him up for Nothing to Say to burst him once more.
Man, I've been saying it for quite a lot in this tournament, but Clockwork has just looked unbelievable. Why You Smile, he's looking... I mean, it's like what FY was able to do earlier. It seems like he always has the wraparound here onto low. Push commencing, this tier 2 still low from earlier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They lead now.
Bottom tower
Continue to grow it more and more. The supports are catching up to the cores, Owen.
They have to somehow find a way to piece together their ultimates.
But I mean, they're getting out farmed, out moved, out everything. Really, it seems like so far here from Azure.
Righteous reward.
He's gonna have the axe for the next fight. Nothing to Say.
Massive. He's got Ags. Why You Smile? The 5-position Clockwork is... He's got a casual point booster. He looks like he's gonna go for 4-step, but I wouldn't even blame him if he just goes to finish up that Aghanims.
They're trying to chase him, but they can't quite catch him.
Even if you get him, look at his HP pool. You'll have to commit kisses, and you might even still not get him. Somnus, pinging him out up top. Planet, definitely ready to go for the jump. He's got Nothing to Say connecting.
Trying to push back Why You Smile. Why You Smile, he's gonna go back in on them.
He's tanky.
He goes
knows
for the hook shot. Starts to move on to Tianming. Nothing to Say. Ready with a backup. Of course, he's got that axe, he's got that upgraded laser good to go. It's Tianming gone low. He's going to have to run. Again, might be forced to put the chrono if it wasn't not going to get the chance as Lasso's there from Planet.
They might just keep going. Chalice trying to get back. Neo's cutting him off.
See if they can finish him, and they certainly can. There's no way out of this for Chalice. A third hero to be found. PSG LGD making this game look impossible for Azure to recover.
Yeah, they're making this one look so damn good for themselves. They're saying that first game, it was a one-off. Good itemization, Neo, Pipe. They're so tanky, Owen. All the cores, the supports, everybody at this point. Even if Azure gets the catch, it feels like they maybe can kill one of these heroes, but maybe not even one of the cores. They need time, but at this point now, time doesn't even feel like it's going to be favoring them. Sure, they have these Midases, but LGD just growing that much faster. Net worth just continues to accelerate.
Just holding the high ground here, Azure. Now they'll come up with the smoke.
Like a desperate one, they have to get some type of connection here. They have to slow down the momentum of LGD somehow. But who are they going to kill, and what are they going to get out of it afterwards, even if they do get the kill? All the lanes are shoved in. New.
It's got to be a catch on either Shiro or nothing to say.
I don't think Timber's just going to walk up. I mean, is he even going to die? You'll have to commit literally everything.
Do they want to do this? They're hesitating. They know that it feels bad to go on Neo.
Does not feel nice. I guess if they land like the triple mine connections and stuff like that for the magic resist reduction, perhaps. But either way, then they could just get turned on. They literally have to commit everything for him. They do not want. Shiro has his BKB finish now too for the next one. Aegis is gonna get reclaimed, but he's gotten so much out of it. Top net worth still. They're keeping neck and neck with their cores. All three just 13k to 14k net worth. Great distribution. Yeah, those supports soon to surpass Chalice and maybe even catch up to a Midas Void Spirit.
Smoke time now from PSG LGD there.
Yeah, they're swinging.
They will not be afraid to take the fight into the base of Azure with the lead that they have. They're going to swing around towards top.
Oh, who's going to die?
And FY's out.
And TS is in.
He's out of this one. Tianming's going to get found.
I think they saw low for a second. Planet's on the hunt.
He has got TP available. And he's actually just going to opt to take the twin gate back towards the bottom half of the map. So low will escape.
That was scary for a second. Planet's like, all right, we have so much of a lead. I'm buying a gem just in case of anything to constrict the vision even more so. They have absolute control, PSG LGD.
They're going to try and jump him.
And they bring him down.
Making an attempt on this one. Hookshot's going to miss. As Neo, he's ready to just go back in, catch out FY. Jump ball from nothing to say. Azure, they've got to run. Nothing to say. He's up onto the high ground. Chalice, he'll put the Ravage to hold the two of them back.
He might still die. There's level 3 rearm. Nothing to say, doesn't want a full commit for it there. Ravage to disengage. They can't even scratch Neo.
Force out the glyph. Free wave coming in. They can keep this push going. Neo ready to tank. Shiro ready to do the damage. The Ravage gone. Do have Chrono at the ready. Follow-up is still very limited. It's going to be the potential level 1 kisses. Not quite hitting the level 12 yet, Tianming.
I even think if there's like some 4-man Chrono or something, they won't have the damage to deal with these heroes. And LGD, they'll just force them back up, pick up these next few items. They're so damn ahead, Owen.
Let's see if they can maybe try and catch one of them split away from the rest of the team. Why are you smiling, Neo? They are together, though.
I mean, Neo can hit their Neo's like, please cast your spells on me. They might just have to settle if they can.
If. It's a big if. Chrono is there. Kiss is coming in. Can they kill Neo? They can.
Okay, but in Low's dead.
And the line for the Faceless Void and maybe more now. As jump forwards in from Planet Lasso onto Somnus. They lose 2 3. They're almost certainly going to lose more. Nothing to say. He's ready to keep on chasing. They cannot escape this Tinker. Triple kill for nothing to say.
He's having the dream Tinker game, really. They have to commit everything for Neo, and we see after just quick clean up his Shiro. Nothing to say, come in. Rack's getting pressured. No creep wave just yet, but we're seeing how impossible it really is. They barely even can bring down this pesky Timber Saw.
Definitely won't be able to now with that BKB. Pressure coming in with the bottom lane and the mid lane pushing up towards the barracks. 4 dead on Azure.
I mean, that's all their ults committed, and they just get slapped in the fight anyway. Rack's gonna drop.
Middle barracks has
Planet
fallen.
wants to maybe go for more here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They'll back up. Happy with their
Radiant's
hit.
bottom tower is under
It's gonna
attack.
make Azure suffer even more.
Always opting to play it careful in these low bracket situations. Even when they have this lead, there's no need to make any hasty movements. PSG LGD, they've got many ways to see this victory out. The lead they have right now.
They're trying to just play it as clean as possible, you know, show Zhao 8 that they're still in top form here.
Opening onto nothing to say, but he's gonna get popped, and now he's gonna be ready to turn. Jump ball from Planet, he gets the last one to FY. They want to get rid of this techies. Why are you smiling? He's falling low. Somnus will manage to get him. They've
Look at
lost
the
their
damage.
fight, and now they've got to run.
Nothing to say, is killing everybody.
Jump forward, another laser, another life as Tianming falls.
Oh, you get away.
I mean, there's going to be the buybacks. They're worried that they might lose low here. Jump forward. Chalice is going to go in the Ravage on towards Shiro. They're trying to take down the clings, but the BKB's up. Shiro can step back low.
No.
He's in on top of Shiro, but he's got to escape with this time warp as him, Somnus, falling low.
Chalice, is he going to be able to get away though? Neo, he's got his number. Whoop.
He's able to get the blink off in time. Nothing to say, refuels. He's
One blood.
back. Need to chase them down. Chalice turns with the gush, but nothing to say. He's in. Rearms there. Another round of spells burst the tide out of the game. Chalice gone.
Chalice tries to give him the high five there. They just keep tipping, nothing to say. This has been an absolutely godly performance from him on the Tinker.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, jumps in, but no way he can touch this Timber Saw. Hey, you can tell that Azure, they felt the state of the game here for the majority of this one.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they felt it as soon as Somnus queued up that Midas.
Oh yeah. As low, the Hex reveal from Shiro, an instant kill.
And FY, he's on the run. He'll try his best to hide through the trees. We'll be able to juke down to low ground with the 4-star, so
TS wants him.
they might indeed jump the base. Nothing to say. Does he want to go in? He won't. He'll hold back with the blink.
His BKB was up. I thought he might actually jump in there.
He's definitely tempted. I mean, if they step up for the wave, he would go for it. They'll settle for taking the Tormentor.
Chalice has been surpassed by the support planet. He's gone ahead of him now. So high level. So much control. 26k lead. Free reign. Start to finish is, Azure now trapped in the base. They're both just spamming the taunt on each other.
Okay.
Bottom wave. Ults will be back and ready. At least the Chronosphere and the kisses. Ravage still down for 50.
I didn't just do anything.
Yeah,
They're buying blade mails.
One more attempt, sort of the wombo combo.
Like Chalice is like, all right, screw it. I'm going to blizz him the best way I can do anything. A blade mail to try to reflect some damage or something versus this Tinker. It's been a rough one for Chalice in this game. Back punching, nice smile. Triple rocket, he sees him.
He's going to scout them all out. He's in with a hook shot. They get the follow-up lasso. As that'll be completely out of the game low. Dead for 50.
This time.
Well, there's no buybacks to be had. And they're going to look for the cleanup.
The blitz military.
Tries to stand his ground, Chalice, but not a chance. They're all dead here. 3 of them. No buybacks available. Creeps are coming in.
What a display of dominance this time around from PSG LGD. Pretty much no slip-ups in this game at all. Dominant lanes and then just an immense snowball. 2 racks is dropped. Somnus high-fiving his buddy.
That's all that's left to be done here.
Yeah, he's like, let me Midas the catapult or something. He'll get the Midas up, but now this is continuous high fives.
Just teasing around with him. As the tier 4s are focused.
They know they deserve the win.
Yeah, this was just straight up outclass, outplay, outdropped as well from PSG LGD. And a definite reminder that if you're going up against this squad, you've always got to be prepared for the nothing to say Tinker to come through.
Somnus, he's going to try, but he doesn't even hurt the clockwork. Look at this. Why you smile? They're all tipping him. He's tanking everything, and he's going to survive.
He's not even going to die.
Oh, man. Ah, that tickles, he says. Nice clockwork line.
I mean, they'll chase him outside of the base.
They just want, I think they're going to kill him and maybe GG
up.
out. The clockwork and then call it.
They're going to find Neo. They've got the round for the BKB. He was already there from Neo. Neo's going to be perfectly fine. Low push the BKB, tries to target.
Look, they're chasing him.
Chrono catch on and nothing to say. But there's no damage to threaten this Tinker. Why you smile, still surviving. Chalice, he's in with the guns. Can they bring down the clock? They can. They'll get Why you smile.
And they call it.
They call it. This game is over. This series is done as PSG LGD will take it 2-1, knocking down Azure Ray.
This one was a beat down from start to finish. Yeah, literally 0 slip-ups and things that people do have to worry about for PSG LGD. They're one of the few teams, actually they're the only team that picked Clinks. They're the only team that really picked Tinker, and we're seeing why. This was